offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Time now for your Sactown 49ers report, brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco loses in Houston on Sunday, 26-15, to fall to 5-3 on the year. The Niners played again without Brock Purdy, and they struggled offensively to score early, going down 13-0. The Niners are back in action on Sunday morning in New York. You can catch all the action beginning at 9 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes. On a Wednesday, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass for us, and it was quite the night. Okay, let's start with the good. The Dodgers lost. How about them Blue Jays? Everything going against them. Shohei on the bump. I'm sure Shohei was maybe a little tired after that 18-inning game, but Shohei on the bump. Everything kind of going in the direction of the Dodgers, but the Blue Jays said, we ain't going away, and the Blue Jays get a W. That's the one that they needed, and I tried to tell y'all, they were going to get one. They were going to get one in Los Angeles, and now they have an opportunity to get another because, again, Major League Baseball is, for some reason, in a rush to end the season, and if they're able to do that, they can head back to Toronto with 2 chances to close this thing out. So we're going to start with the good there before we make our way. And also the Niners, they get a new pass rusher, Keon White. They also give the Patriots, and the Patriots made 2 moves yesterday. There was a swap involved, so the Niners got edge Keon White and a 7th-round pick to take in for a 6th-round pick that goes to the Patriots. So that happened, but of course I am avoiding the obvious, the Sacramento Kings. They do what a lot of people, I guess, thought would happen. Look, they covered. What did I say yesterday? I said, can you cover? They did cover, but they covered in the most frustrating way possible, where you lead all game and then the other team decides that it's time to start trying and you just don't have enough. And I think that's the most, I guess, not embarrassing, but I guess that's the most annoying part of it, when it just feels like the team wasn't trying and they turned it on, right? If you get blown out, obviously that stinks, but it's almost as if they were toying with you. I've used this before when the Kings play the Nuggets. It's the same as when you're playing with your little nephew, NCAA football, or your little brother or your little sister. You're playing Madden 2K, and you're essentially just messing around to keep it close, right? Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, anything you want, you're messing around to keep it close so it'll actually be fun for you at the end. And that is essentially what it felt like the Oklahoma City Thunder were doing, and they walk away with the victory. They are undefeated, and we'll talk about what the Kings are in the fight, but at least in the record books, they are 1-3 with another L. And we're going to break it down. They don't have a lot of time to lick their wounds because they take on the Chicago Bulls. Maybe they could beat the Cubs.
What a game that would be.
Yeah, maybe they could beat the Cubs, but they got the Bulls tonight with the World Series on my mind, of course.
Pete Crow Armstrong playing small forward.
Honestly, be careful. Be careful. I'm kidding. But they got the Bulls tonight. We're going to talk to Sam Smith, who is a writer for the Bulls, and how the Bulls have kind of turned this thing around fairly quickly. They still have a bunch of pieces they can hit the eject button on, and if they are able to do that, then of course they would be full tank mode. But right now they're kind of messing around. And as of right now, literally, they're messing around too much because they're not in a good position to get one of those top 4 picks because they're winning too much. But the season is young, and we don't know and don't believe that the Bulls will fight their fate the same way other teams have, even though the Bulls are kind of famous for fighting their fate as well, in the same breath as the play-in crew, the Bulls, the Heat, and the Sacramento Kings, of course. So that's what's going on tonight. Domantas Sabonis, oh my goodness. Domantas Sabonis is getting absolutely dragged right now, and he was getting dragged last night on social media. Some of it was a little much as far as where he ranks amongst other centers, but I tried to tell y'all, and he might have actually still hit his over, Kyle. I got to double check, just because he had so many rebounds, but scoring-wise, yeah, he had 10 points. He had 18 rebounds. So Domantas Sabonis, he was right there. I think it was 31.5. So I think he ended with, if my math is correct, 31.
It was 32.5.
32.5. So he did not hit simply because, and he had 18 rebounds, which is insane. But points-wise, I told y'all he cannot do anything against Hartenstein. He's never been able to do anything against Isaiah Hartenstein, even when he was on the Knicks. So that's what happened last night. And I don't know if a lot of people had League Pass because that was not a nationally televised game, but it felt, you know what I think happened, Kyle? I think a lot of people saw the Kings were winning and decided, hey, let me tune in, hopefully legally, but let me tune in and see what's going on here. They tuned in at halftime or in the third quarter, and they saw the Kings end up blowing it. And Domantas Sabonis, he fumbled the ball towards the end. He got fried, and I was confused because these were a lot of national outlets and national media members talking about the game, and I'm thinking, wait, this isn't the game glitching on Peacock? I'm watching it on NBC Sports California. What's going on? I think a lot of people saw, oh shoot, the Kings are beating the Thunder. Let me find a way to tune in. And then of course, as they tune in, the Kings are unable to get it done. And that was not all on Domantas Sabonis. How could it be when he swallowed 18 rebounds? I mean, that's insane. But all in all, we've seen this before, and I don't know if it's an adjustment thing. I think it's time to have that conversation. Because it's either an adjustment thing or it's a stamina thing, or it's an old age thing when the average age of the starters was 32. Why? Because Russell Westbrook entered the starting lineup and played pretty well. 2 games from Russell Westbrook where you can't really blame him. But again, as I've talked about when it comes to the score, the box score, it doesn't tell the whole story. What it doesn't say in the box score is Russell Westbrook airballing a 3 for no good reason fairly early in the shot clock when the Kings could have gotten a better shot. That's not going to be in, that's just going to say a miss. There's not going to be any context there. So the box score does not tell all. I will say it was a good game from Russ. I'm not saying it's not, but in those moments, this is where winning basketball has to happen, and it did not happen for the Kings. Box score-wise, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, there's a bunch of minuses from the starters and a bunch of positives from the plus-minus for the bench players, but outside of that, it didn't look crazy as a box score is concerned. You keep SGA, I know you say you keep him to 31, but you kept him to 31. He only had 4 assists, so it's not like he was dropping a bunch of dimes. He was a -1 on the night. Cason Wallace was a -17. Lou Dort was a +18. That was the game best. He brought it on late, and he hit that dagger 3. Aaron Wiggins balled out. I was really impressed with Aaron Wiggins, and now I know why the Thunder, how they might have to move on from some guys. They really don't want to move on from Aaron Wiggins. He's kind of, I know they have a bunch of them, but he's kind of their Jaden McDaniels type of deal. He can really help, and I think he's bigger than Jaden McDaniels. Isaiah Hartenstein, decent game. We'll get deeper into the box score. AJ Mitchell, he balled out off the bench, 18. You just can't really let that happen. He did take 15 shots, though. So box score-wise, it doesn't look terribly egregious, but of course that's why you got to watch the game and not just look at the box score. So, a tough one for the Kings. I think my biggest takeaway and where we're going to take this thing throughout the duration of the show is the Keon debate continues. Keon made some mistakes. He made some bad mistakes towards the end. Now, why nobody, and I think that was on AJ Mitchell, why nobody was in a 6-mile radius of the key when Keon made that gamble towards the end of the game, I'm not sure. But if you're Keon, you just can't make that gamble, try to poke it. Because even, so funny, even if Keon gets that poke, nobody was in the key, so it probably just goes right out of bounds. So that's the type of stuff where Keon's got to be better. Everyone's got to be better. Zach LaVine, decent game. Shooting the basketball. He was 4 of 6 from three-point land. I mean, the guy is an absolute sniper, and it's just not turning into wins. It's not turning into wins. DeMar, 19 points on 14 shots. That's not great efficiency either. It's a tough game, man, and people have a lot to say. This, Kyle, to me, I'll tell you this much. I was watching that game with probably the most purple lenses I've ever had throughout my time in Sacramento. Because it does get tiring. And last night, you know how many times, we got to check, Kyle, on social media, how many times that graphic was shared on social media of the starting lineup because Russell Westbrook was in the starting lineup. And it got absolutely clowned. And I was fully prepared for people to say, well, they won that game, but no Jalen Williams, no Chet. And I was prepared to say, I don't care. Yeah, thank you, Chet. Yeah. Don't need it too much, Chet.
I left the show and I was literally upset with myself. We didn't play that.
There you go. You hit your quota. And I was fully prepared to say, hey, they're missing 2 of their big 3, but I don't give a you-know-what. Because they were getting clowned. I mean, somebody said, I think it was Sam Quinn, CBS Sports, and we've had Sam on the show, but he loves to hop on the bandwagon and poo-poo the Kings because it's the fun thing to do. It's the hot thing to do. It'll get you clicks. And Sam Quinn said, this looks like a lineup that an 11-year-old made on 2K. That's what he said. And all I wanted, man, was to just shut people up for one night. I know there was no Jalen. I know there was no Chet. But that's all I wanted. And you know what? The Kings couldn't do it. So that's why I do struggle with the entertainment factor because I leave that game and maybe I'm just too in the weeds when it comes to social media and narratives and
Maybe.
and NBA media in general, and sports media in general, but it's my job, so it is what it is. But I can't watch that game, see a collapse. I'll call it a collapse, and say, well, that was fun, though. That was fun to watch, though. I can't personally do that because these guys are getting clowned. Domantas Sabonis got clowned, and it went too far. Some people say he might be the worst. Obviously, he's not the worst center in the league, but the conversations are coming up about the contract, and that contract is looking worse and worse. 18 rebounds is great. Is that worth $40+ million? Depends on who you ask. Is it? I don't know. I saw Jerry Reynolds was on with the Kings Herald. He said, yeah, the Kings are missing Keegan, but that would just be another dude phased out trying to fight for shots. That's what it would be. So all I wanted was to come in here and say, look, we can caveat this and caveat that, but we don't have to do the moral victory thing because they won the game. And now people want to do the moral victory thing. And y'all know you've been listening to me, hopefully, for the last 3 years. And if you're new, thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you being here, whether it's YouTube, whether it's the Sactown Sports app, the TuneIn app, or, of course, on 1140 a.m., driving around, making your deliveries, whatever you may be doing. I truly, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But you know I can't do the moral victory thing. Now, we can try to segment the moral victories. And I saw Chicken Greasy say, hey, on the chat, I'm proud of the Kings, especially Devin and Keon. We can talk about Devin and Keon. I'm not proud of the vets. What is there to be proud of? You lost to a bunch of 23-year-olds missing their two best players. So, yeah, Devin got some time. It was nice to see that. He played 12 minutes, didn't score. But, hey, actually he didn't. That was Drew Eubanks. Devin played 8 minutes, nearly 9 minutes, had 4 points. He was a positive 8, 0 for 2 from 3. So, yeah, Devin had his moments. Keon, he had 2 steals, felt like he had more than that. Devin also had 2 steals. Yeah, we could be proud of them. But ain't nobody proud of the vets for what? For hanging around with the young bucks? You know, somebody else said this, and I told my wife, I can't say this on air, so I won't. But somebody used a different word to describe the Kings that I won't use, even though it's not a bad word. It's just I don't want to take it that far. But basically, is this just a swan song, right? Come see the aged vets near you put up great numbers. Wow, if you're a Thunder fan, what a great night. What a great night for a Thunder fan. You got to see Prime. You got to see Russ turn back the clock. And then you got to see your team actually try and remain undefeated, missing Chet and missing Jalen Williams. Do you think Thunder fans were ever worried last night?
I don't think they would have cared if they had lost. It's not about one game because you could just chalk it up as...
But just answer the question. As a fan...
Yeah. For sure I thought they were going to lose. For sure they thought they were going to lose.
This is the one. This is what we talked about in Crosstalk. This is what the Kings... They did this against the Nuggets every single time last season. And by the third time, right, remember that last game when they blew it again and Zach LaVine made a couple threes to bring it back close? You remember that? That was when, I think even before that, I stopped falling for it. I stopped falling for you're going to lead for 3 quarters, maybe even halfway through the fourth, and then the other team is going to start trying. Last night, Kyle, new team, new hope. You got Doug. You got some dogs with Russell Westbrook. I fell for it last night. And I'm not going to fall for it again. I might.
I mean, I thought they were going to win that game.
I definitely fell for it last night.
They were up, double digits late in the third quarter. They led the entire game up until the end, except for a brief moment in the third quarter where the Thunder retook the lead by 1 point.
Yeah.
I totally thought they were going to win. They beat the Thunder halfway through the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I have this. This is from Matt George, and this just kind of goes to how or why they weren't able to pull it off. But DeMar DeRozan, okay, his fourth quarter numbers through 4 games, And I had to do a double take. 2.7 points, 4 of 11 from the field, and 36%. That's his field goal percentage. Zach LaVine, 6.7 points, 10 for 25 from the field. That's good for 40%. Because that's what I thought was going to happen. That's what I keep waiting for. Okay, the Thunder keep it close. It's DeMar time. And I felt better about it last night because DeMar went off in the first half. So I thought, all right, second half, you might actually get a foul called on Lou Dort, who gets the most leeway of any defender I've ever seen in the history of the game. The dude is just a linebacker. He looks like a linebacker. He plays like a linebacker. He just bodies you. There's no call. They were actually the refs calling some on DeMar's kind of number one move, how it'll get you in the air. I thought, okay, they both ended with 11. It was 16 personal fouls for the Kings, 19 personal fouls for the Thunder. But I thought, all right, they're actually calling a little something. Let's see what DeMar can do in the second half, specifically the fourth quarter. And he didn't do anything. He did not do anything. He's been pretty cold in the fourth. And that's how there is a specific way this team is going to win games. And if DeMar DeRozan is unable to close, and he has been unable to close in these first 4 games because he didn't really do much against the Jazz, this is going to be an even longer season than a lot of people already think it's going to be. He's got to be the closer. After all that, now I sound like Karl Anthony Towns. Everything that we've talked about with DeMar is all fine and good. The one thing I think most Kings fans agree with, if you are going to win games, okay, DeMar, now you can go into your office. Bring it home for us. Part of the reason they probably moved off of De'Aaron Fox. We got a closer now with DeMar. We don't need 2. You got 2 closers, that means you got none. And early on in the season, he has not been it. He has not been able to bring it home. And that's been huge. A lot of people, again, people want to do the DeMar off the bench thing. I'm not even doing that yet. But you're supposed to be the closer. And he's disappeared in the fourth. He's absolutely disappeared in the fourth. And that's part of the reason they lost. Part of the reason. There are multiple reasons why they lost. But they couldn't close it out once the Thunder turned it on, and they just took it to another level. They leaned forward. The lean forward PlayStation 4, I still got the PS4, but the PS5, Xbox One meme. When you're playing your little brother, when you're playing your niece, your nephew, and okay, we made it close. Now let's have some fun. And that's what happens with a lot of these teams, to be honest with you. That's what happens with a lot of these really good teams, not to mention they were missing Jalen Williams and Chet. But when you're betting, it's really hard to bet on these really good teams that just mow through teams. Again, Kyle, your Chiefs, they're terrible at covering the spread because they just find themselves a bit bored, right? And to say that the Thunder were bored, missing 2 of their best 3 players is insane to say.
I mean, it's kind of hyperinflated too, right? Like everyone's like, well, I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs. Why would I pick against the Chiefs? Why would I pick against the Thunder? The Thunder are awesome. But yeah, to your point about DeRozan, I mean, yes, he should be the closer and all that stuff, but like Zach LaVine's also a fine closer. Like, it's not like DeMar has this great skill set that they just can't find somewhere else on the roster in terms of closing games. Malik Monk was a great closer back when it was the Beam team with Fox.
Yeah, well, he's on the
Monk.
bench now, along with Keon.
Yeah, exactly, because they've chosen a closing lineup of Schroeder and Westbrook and Sabonis and LaVine and DeRozan. That's their 5.
Would you say now, Kyle, and we got the records with fights. We got the record, who won the fight. Each and every game, we got the different records. There are a lot of records going on here, Kyle.
And now Doug's saying they should be 4-0.
Oh, my goodness. And he's getting fried. Legion Hoops or whoever, NBA Central found that. Absolutely. He's getting absolutely killed for it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later because we have the cut. But I don't know if I've ever been more angry hearing a post-game presser than that.
He's getting absolutely killed for it. But where I was going to go with this is, are we willing to say that this group now, and I know the Jazz, again, they might actually be decent, which is terrible for the Kings, by the way. Or good if, hashtag Kyle, play the sound, Cam Boozer, it's time.
Boozer has some space, going to fire a three. Yep.
There you go. Maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's not a bad thing. But now this closing unit, which you're going to get Keegan back, you're going to get Neek, but this specific closing unit deciding to not close with Malik or Keon, closing unit is now 1 and 2. Is that fair?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Right, because they beat the Jazz, they lose to the Lakers. Now they just lost to the Thunder.
And the Suns game, no Sabonis.
Right. So you are making a cognizant decision to sit Keon on the bench, to sit Malik Monk on the bench, and this is who you guys are rocking with. You're 1 and 2. Closing with that group. We can pocket that for later. They got an opportunity tonight. In a perfect world, you wouldn't have to close. You wouldn't need a closing group against the Bulls. But who are we kidding? The Bulls have played pretty well. They're 3-0. They're undefeated.
See, this is where I'm struggling with it, too, because, they played really well with that unit. If that game ends with them up by 2 points, we're saying, great unit. This is the group right here, these four. They played really well. They held the Thunder to 24 points in the first quarter. Shea had, 2 free throws the entire game?
But again, that's why, and they didn't, Kyle. They lost.
No, they did.
But that's why I'm trying to figure out if it's time to have the adjustment conversation at halftime. Because this is, 3 times? I'm not counting the Jazz because they won, but Suns, I know no Sabonis, but 20-point lead Suns. The Lakers, not a 20-point, they didn't blow a lead, but they just didn't make it. They tried to make an adjustment with Austin Reeves, I guess.
They had a second-half lead.
And with the Thunder, they kind of slow-played it a little bit. But I don't want to disrespect the Kings. I feel like it's disrespectful to say that the Thunder just started trying. Right? I want to give some more, responsibility to the Kings to say you could have countered the Thunder at halftime in going into the fourth quarter to get that W, and they didn't. I feel like it's disrespectful to say no Jalen, no Chet, and all they got to do is start trying. I'm not even going to. I don't want to go there. I have gone there, but I don't even want to go there. But so if I'm not going to go there, then it comes down to, well, you're not making the necessary adjustments. It's got to be one of the two. Either you stink or you're not making the necessary adjustments. And I don't think this team inherently stinks. They don't make sense, but I don't think this team inherently stinks. I think this team is good enough that they should have won last night.
I think it can just be as simple as they played a very good game, and when it came down to clutch time, to nut crunching time, they scored 4 points in the last 5 minutes, right? It can be that simple of they played a great game, and in the last 5 minutes, they did not score.
916-339-1140. We got the three horses, the three horsemen of callers here that we're going to get to, and we're going to keep the phone lines open, 916-339-1140. Dobo, 4 hours, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Not all rooftops are created equal. Revival at the Sawyer isn't just above the city, it's above the rest. Think DJs, live beats, a crowd that's always in the know, and views that make Golden One Center look like it's in your backyard. It's the rooftop Sacramento can't stop talking about. Revival, an experience that's anything but ordinary. Whether it's game night, date night, or just your night, Revival is where memories get made and the city feels alive. One rooftop, endless stories. Book your reservation at revivalsacramento.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Phone lines are ringing with some familiarity. We got all of the regulars that want to be a part of the conversation. So I'm going to get right to them. We got the text line going as well. By the way, I am, very fearful because Kyle, remember yesterday when I said this is going to be dicey with the Westbrook fan club? Well, they found me. They're on me. They're calling me a bum. Does anybody in Sacramento media know basketball? He's guarded Wemby. This was from Brody Nation. Brody Nation at Russ Nation Prez. So, there's the actual name and then the at name.
Yeah.
This is from Brody Nation. His at name is Russ Nation Prez. He's guarded Wemby, Giannis, Embiid, Miles Turner, Randall, and more in the past. They're on me because I said him guarding Lauri Markkanen was cute against the Jazz. So they found that cut, and now it's all over Westbrook fan club circles. It wasn't cute. Russ can legit, in all caps, guard 1 through 4 and sometimes 1 through 5. We've witnessed this repeatedly.
Sometimes 1 through 5.
Yeah. Y'all will realize it too. It's so funny because this is just a very bizarre time because you have national media roasting the Kings. You have Westbrook media, if you will, applauding the Kings, but then they're also saying, get off of this team, you're better than this, and they're mad at Sacramento media. It's just I like the drama, so it's fine. But this is going to be a very long season.
I think media is generous. Let's call them Westbrook propagandists.
Yes. The Westbrook fan club. That's what they are. So that's what Brody Nation has to say. And they're calling me a bum. And it's all, it is what it. So then I responded saying, last night was cute too. That's what I responded saying. So hopefully they don't live in a 100-mile radius of me.
Remember, we got to cut that 15-second block of you saying Russ should play all the time.
Now I just want to annoy them because, honestly, they're not well. Like, they're not – it's okay. They're not well. Can we
say they're washed too?
They're very washed. So I'm not going to placate to these people that are just obsessed over Russell Westbrook. Now I've gone the other direction. I want them to hate me. And I actually really like Russell Westbrook. I do. My pops was a huge Russell Westbrook fan. We used to get into it all the time back in the day, the MVP seasons, Russ or Steph, because my dad very much likes to highlight reel the slam dunk. So my history with Russ goes back a while. But these people, oh my goodness, now I've decided I just want to be the heel.
Did you just do the I have a blank friend for Westbrook?
Yeah.
You're just like, I
got a friend that loves Westbrook, and I'm cool with that person.
My dad was a big Westbrook fan.
So it's in my blood.
Yeah.
It's in my blood, technically.
Yeah, you just did the I have a friend to justify liking Westbrook, even though you don't like Westbrook.
I do liking Westbrook and wanting Westbrook on the Kings, very simple to me. Compartmentalizing should be very simple. Those are two different things. I like Russell Westbrook. I think Russell Westbrook can help this team. But sitting there trying to defend, here's my problem, and then we'll get to the phone lines. Legitimately, with a straight face, if they have a straight face, because none of them have faces on their profile pictures, trying to defend Russell Westbrook as a power forward, and they're saying that Sacramento media doesn't know ball, that's where I can't take you seriously. That's what we're doing. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, not only that Russell Westbrook is a forward, he can guard centers.
Yeah.
So we should be starting with the 5.
Now we've lost the debate, the possible debate we could have had.
This is why it's propaganda. Once you give an inch, they'll take another inch.
I didn't give them nothing. I'm going to talk to the digital because they knew what they were doing. They set me up. But hey, I'm going to take the numbers. 916-339-1140. All right. We got the 4 horses of Kings 916 callers. And I want to start with, let's see here, I'm looking at the phone lines. Let's start with Ashley. What's up, Ashley? What you got for us?
So I just want to say that even though we did lose yesterday, I'm very encouraged by what we did see. If we can play like that against the defending champs, then if we can bring that same energy in games versus the Suns, games versus, the Pelicans, the Clippers even, Jazz, some of these other teams that we're going to be playing, then I think that we can still turn this thing around. And not only that, but if you recall, back in the Beam Team year, we started 1-4. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it might not look good right now, but Keegan's going to come back at some point. And sure, the Thunder were down Chet and down Jalen Williams, but we were out guys too. We were out Keegan Murray. Mm-hmm. And, sure, it might not be the same level of player as a Chet Holmgren, but at the same time, no one's going to feel sorry for you because you're missing a player,
Yeah. No, it's a good call, Ashley. And on this show, we try not to be negative for 4 hours. Now, some people do think that I am negative for 4 hours, but a lot of you don't get to listen to all 4 hours of the show. Maybe you missed the couple hours or minutes that we were positive about this team.
Yeah, we did a whole segment yesterday that devolved into being negative.
No, that was not my fault. But to Ashley's point, here's my thing. I don't disagree with you, Ashley, but at some point you got to ring together some W's. You got to string together some. You got to actually get a W, but you got to string together some W's. I was talking to my wife last night, and here, by the way, I have a separate question. When you're married, do you have to? I was just thinking about this. It's very random, but when you're married, do you have to retire my girl? Like, do you have to say my wife? Like, can I say I was talking to my girl last night? Or once you get married, would she, I don't know how she would feel, but in general, can you still say my girl Do I have to say my wife every time? I'm just curious.
You could change it up. You could say my boo.
If you are married, do you ever say my girl? Or once you got married, did it just turn into my wife? Because I'm just curious, because sometimes my girl just flows better, but I don't want to be disrespectful. I thought about that. But, she said something to me, and let me know, 916-339-1140. I'm not trying to get in trouble. She said something to me, and what she said was, even if they went on a nice, how fun was that 7-game winning streak last season? And I know these are hashtag tiny victories, but how nice would it be to just have a good stretch? Just a good stretch. Just go a month and go 9-3 or something like that. That's all I'm even asking for. So I'm not even trying to disagree with Ashley. We just have to see it. All right. We got 3 more of our callers on the lines. Let's go with Jacob next, 916-339-1140. What's up, Jacob? What you got for us?
Allen, how are we doing today?
I cannot complain, Jacob. We're rocking and rolling.
That's what I like to hear. Hey, I'm just a little confused. I'm a little confused and worried about this team because this team is just as close to 3-1 as it is 1-3.
Yeah.
And like the other caller was saying, Keegan Murray's going to come back soon, and I'm worried. I'm not worried. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but Vivek has a history of not wanting to commit to winning or losing. He just likes to stay in the middle. And with how close we are to 3-1, and dare I say even 4-0, we're just as close to 1-3 as 0-4. So Westbrook seems like he's giving his all, but I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know what you think because we don't have that many W's right now, but we very well could have a 3-1, 4-0 record.
Yeah, it's a good call, Jacob. And like I said, Doug Christie's kind of getting fried for the we're not ready to be 4-0, mostly because this team, the average age of the starters is 32, right? But with that being said, it has been close. And I think the argument is this. The average age of the starters is 32, but that was only their, third game playing altogether because Domantas Sabonis didn't play. So there's still some hope out there. The Keegan Murray part of it, obviously he's going to help defensively. I'm not seeing 10 threes a night for Keegan, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't know if he can get to 5 a night.
I don't know if the Cavs can find it for Sam Merrill. Then
yeah.
Maybe.
So I think offensively we'll have to see what happens with Keegan, but that's always been the question. So there's still a little bit of hope. The problem is we're not going to see Keegan until Thanksgiving or something crazy like that. We're going to know a lot about this team before Keegan returns. So you're not wrong. We're just going to know about this team before Keegan returns. Let's get to our next 2 callers. We got TC and Dwayne. TC, what you got for us?
Hey, Allen, I kind of want to call in and disagree, bro. So it's not about a moral victory, right? It's about having Westbrook in the starting lineup. What I called with you guys before, talking about just his presence and his force alone, bro. I have this team in games and winning games. That was a winnable game last night. We choked it. If we really want to put the rat on the table, shout out to Guru. If we really want to put that on the table, bro, Doug should have made the decision of pulling Domas because he was trash last night, bro. I'm talking about in crunch time. I would have threw. It sounds crazy, but I would have threw Drew back in there.
Yeah, thanks for the call, TC. Yeah, I'm just looking here. Very random game for Dylan Cardwell to not get any minutes. That does confuse me. But yeah, Drew, this might have been Drew's best game. Honestly, I think it was for sure his best game. He was a positive 9 on the night, played nearly 13 minutes. Let's get to Dwayne. Wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Dwayne? What you got for us?
Hey, man, nobody wants to see DeMar DeRozan's ISO anymore, bro. I'm so done with that. I don't even want to see him get the ball no more, man. We got to get that guy traded and up out of town. But I'll tell you something. There is no rhyme, reason, or flow to Christie's rotation, bro. This is like an AAU team, except I've seen AAU teams with better balance, man.
Thanks for the call, Dwayne. The only thing, like I said, I hear you throughout the game, but when it does get to crunch time and you need a closer to, specifically last night, take us home, DeMar. And he was unable to do it. Because I don't know another piece of the offense to speak of. That's a part of it too. All right. When we return, we will break down the box score as a whole. And we, of course, have Christie's Cut. Down South, Sactown Sports.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best Honda dealer in Northern California. Score big with low payments, more for your trade, and a huge selection. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in L.A., red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The statewide special election is November 4th. Vote centers open October 25th. Remember to vote early and avoid the lines. Learn more at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
This hour has flown by, and that's all thanks to you, the callers, the texters.
The Westbrook stands.
The Westbrook stands. There was a new one running around I saw. Vampire Brody. What are we actually talking about?
What a great name.
I can't even block a name like that.
Vampire Brody is funny because it insinuates that Westbrook died and now has returned.
Or he's ageless. I mean, this is what the Kings organization is putting the fans through. Fighting these crazy. You know what? It is interesting though, and I know DeMar DeRozan has played for a long time and doesn't have the same star power, but there's no DeMar DeRozan fan club. Like, you would have thought, because, I think people have been pretty tough on DeMar DeRozan, trying to bench him and things like that. There's no vampire DeMar. There's no fan club that we've had to deal with DeMar DeRozan.
Somebody at the next Kings home game, just please throw garlic at Westbrook.
Yeah.
Just so we can find out, But with the DeRozan one, it's like, who's going to say my favorite player is DeMar DeRozan?
That's a great question. Who is the best player? This is for the summer, not for now. But who is the best player that nobody has ever said is my favorite player? Besides Tim, because even Tim Duncan with the championships, I'm sure there's some lanky kid out there who said, I love Tim Duncan.
But that's the thing. It's like a very specific situation with DeMar, right? Because
has DeMar ever been anyone's favorite player?
Yeah, for sure. I think 10 years ago, a ton of Raptors fans would have said DeMar DeRozan is my favorite player.
Can we eliminate Raptors fans? Is that fair?
No, I just want to make the point that, it's a very specific case where, the team that, because I would say the answer now is Devin Booker, right? People buy his shoes, so I guess maybe that's not.
Verlaud does,
yeah.
But is there a Devin Booker fan club outside?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
My whole thing is outside of where they've played, because Russ, these people are not. I don't know. He's been on so many teams now, but that's why the same thing. What you're saying, somebody's favorite player on the Raptors. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this is beyond normal team fandom.
But Russell Westbrook also is an MVP. Russell Westbrook at one point was the best basketball player in the world, or at least top 3. DeRozan was at best, top 7? Mm-hmm. Again, this one's tough because he has the shoes, but it'd be like someone saying, my favorite basketball, I live in Florida, and my favorite basketball player is Donovan Mitchell.
Right. Well, it's the moments, right? Donovan, and I know he's had some really good games, but I think that Donovan actually is a pretty good call, even though I think Donovan's actually spot on, to be honest with you.
Because Donovan Mitchell is the DeMar DeRozan of his generation.
He literally, because it's not Vince Carter, because Vince Carter, they just haven't had moments, is my point. Vince Carter had the slam dunk contest. So somebody out there wants to be Vince Carter. He's got all the nicknames. These guys, DeMar never really had the moment.
The actual answer, now that I think about it, and we're talking about DeRozan, I think the actual answer of best player without a fan club is Kawhi.
No, Claw Nation. No, he's got a fan club.
Really? Kawhi?
Go look it up.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Just say, Kawhi's my favorite player.
People love some Kawhi. They love to say, if he didn't get injured, he'd have this, and he'd have, no, trust me. Because I'm a Kawhi, that's the thing. I probably am more of a Kawhi hater than a Westbrook hater, to keep it 1,000.
Yeah, because you don't like Kawhi, which
that's not all right.
Again, I really like Kawhi, but it's not for
I think Kawhi's overrated.
Sure, I think we can agree that Donovan Mitchell. But again, it's weird because he's got the shoes, right? So there's people who will buy his shoes, and that's kind of I'm rooting for this guy because I love his shoes situation.
916-339-1140. Let's go to Pool Guy Mark. Pool Guy Mark, how you feeling today? Thanks for the call.
Hey, I might be unpopular, but I'm pretty excited. I feel pretty good. For me, I just, they're entertaining, which is nice, and I'm the kind of fan right now. I'm looking long term. I honestly don't want these guys to win these games, so it's like a perfect scenario. They're playing well, they're entertaining, and they're losing. I don't want this to be successful, so they run it back again. I don't know if that.
But isn't that weird at the end, Pool Guy Mark? I don't know. It's just to say it's exciting, but then you lose. There's no part of you that wants them to finish the job.
I don't. What are you going to have, a 40-year-old DeRozan? And you know what I mean? How long can this last?
Yeah, and that's a great call, Pool Guy Mark. I think it's tough for me because if you're watching something expecting or wanting them to lose, then it doesn't really matter how they lose to me. Once I am invested in the excitement of a game, I want them to win as much as I want AJ DeBansa or Darren Peterson. So, or obviously Cam
Boozer,
Boozer.
the offensive rebound and the putback.
So it's hard for me to separate that, but I appreciate the thought process of Pool Guy Mark, because it definitely can can alter how you feel. Yeah, Brandon Deitzman on the chat is saying, call of the day from Pool Guy Mark, ethical tanking. That's what we're calling it. And that's Scotty Pop is saying we're all in on the ethical tanking. But you're going to watch that? Like, watching something hoping that they lose is weird. Not weird. I wouldn't say weird, but I can't. It's just confusing to me.
I mean, I'm going to watch it now. Am I going to watch it in game 60?
That's a great point. Right now, it's fun, and Russ is hitting threes, and it's all fun and good. And by the way, that's exactly, we talked about this yesterday, exactly what a team wants, right? Russ last night from three-point land, 4 of 8. And at the very end of the game, at that time, he must have been 4 of 7. Let me pull up, because he hit one.
Oh, he was 3 for 3 to start.
And he hit one. He top of the key. I remember, and I put it in my brain. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. They walked it down. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Took it from the top of the key. Drilled it. Wait, hold on a minute. End of the game. Same play. Air ball.
Yep.
Air ball. And this is not a Russ thing. This is an everyone thing. Domantas Sabonis has 0 post moves. Hartenstein eats his lunch every single day. Every single time they play. I told you I'll take the under. I said I cannot say on record to take Domantas Sabonis' under, but that's what I would do. Because we don't do unders, right, for prop talk. But that's what I would do. Because we've just seen it. These burly guys that are just bigger than him, he can't get in the air because they don't jump. They don't need a jump. Right, the Zubac's, he can't handle
even
it.
Hartenstein just does the little like push shots.
Get a push shot. Get something.
Sabonis does have a push shot. That's
last night.
That's the thing I joke about him and Hartenstein. It's just them doing push shots the whole game.
One thing that I heard on the broadcast too, Kyle, or in the post game, a shout out to Deuce and Mo, and of course our guy Kyle Draper. Mo was talking about the bunnies that they missed. Yeah, I mean, how many layups can you smoke? How many bunnies can you smoke?
But it was also like a layup that immediately led to a Thunder 3 too.
Right. Right. It was hybrid. And I'll even go a bit further. Some of those foul calls on the Thunder, it would be nice because last night they did shoot 90% from free throw, 90.5, but it would be nice to convert some of those fouls. Can I get 1 and 1?
They had twice as many foul shots, too, on the night.
Yeah, by the way, I hope you didn't follow us on the Shea 8.5 free throws because he didn't get close to that.
He had 2 the whole game and still scored 31, which I saw Keith Smith was making the point, can we stop with this foul merchant thing? Shea is
that's one night.
Regardless, you know?
That's one night.
By the way, you mentioned the 90%. The 1 and 1 they did get was DeRozan, and he missed the free throw that would have converted the and 1.
So that's just where we're at right now. 916-339-1140 if you want to be a part of the conversation. The 11 o'clock hour is upon us. We still have the box score to get through and whether or not it is time to worry about Domantas Sabonis being phased out. And we still got Chrissy's cuts. This is what happens when we get the calls down south, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com. At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors. Locally owned and operated, we know what businesses like yours need. From reliable printers to high-performance copiers, we'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769 3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm opening my own coffee shop.
I smell a caffeinated catastrophe.
And I needed menu boards and banners printed.
What you really needed was a reality check.
Staples really came through. They printed menus and signs, even flyers in time for my grand opening.
And that's when the other shoe dropped.
Not quite. I got $125 off my custom print order.
Cha-ching! For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online until 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
As the temperatures drop, keep your home cozy and your family safe with Maverick Electric Heating and Air, your local family-owned team you can trust. They care about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. This fall, schedule your seasonal tune-up to make sure your system is ready before the cold sets in. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com or call Maverick Electric and let their family take care of yours this season.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports 1140.
Game clock 18, shot clock at 5. He launches for 3. Dagger time! Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, last year's MVP, knocking down the 3. 15 seconds to go. Thunder lead by 6.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Great first hour. I think there was a lot of good conversation, and I don't feel like it was all doom and gloom. I mean, you lose a game. I'm not doing the moral victory thing, but you lose a game. I think a lot of you out there are trying to compartmentalize, and I appreciate you for it. I'm not good at doing that simply because I'm just a results-driven guy. And again, there's a specific way this thing has to go, right? And I'm very open with you here on the show. If the Kings, as much as I've said this before, I want the Kings to find a way to get a top 3, top 4 pick. That's how I'll say it in the 2026 draft.
Boozer, the offensive rebound and the putback.
I want them to do that, but I don't need the Kings losing every dang game. That doesn't help me personally and professionally either. So I'm in a confusing spot here, just being completely honest with you. So that's what I want. And with the flattened odds, they don't have to be atrocious. It would be nice to go on they can have a nice couple runs, right? Some real throwback, wow, look what this team put together. That would have been really nice last night. That would have been a really nice victory. No Chet, no Jalen, don't care. That would have been a really nice victory for the Kings to get, and they were unable to get it done. Let's get through the actual box score here. Zach LaVine, 35 minutes, 23 points. He was a minus 15, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. 4 of 6 from three-point land, 6 of 13 from the field. DeMar DeRozan, 33 minutes, 7 of 14 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 5 of 6. Nice to see DeMar kind of turn it around at the free throw line. That's been weird to start the season. 3 assists, 1 rebound, 2 steals. He was a positive 19. Domantas Sabonis, 35 minutes, 5 of 15 from the field. I don't even remember him taking 15 shots, to be completely honest with you. 0 of 2 from 3, and one of those threes would have been huge towards the end of the game. 18 rebounds, which is still just crazy to say out loud. He had 3 assists. I was going to say 4 fouls, but I wasn't rating off fouls. But 4 fouls, 1 steal, 5 turnovers for Domas. Zach LaVine had 4, by the way. He also was a minus 15. He had 10 points. Dennis Schroeder, 31 minutes. He only took 9 shots. 4 of 9, 0 of 3 from three-point land. He had 5 rebounds, only 3 assists, 4 fouls himself. He was a minus 10. He had 8 points. So I did not hit my prop talk. He was set at 11.5, I think. So Dennis Schroeder didn't really shoot, didn't really assist. I find myself starting to wonder what Dennis Schroeder is. I feel like we haven't talked about Dennis Schroeder enough. I'm sitting here bagging on Russell Westbrook, bagging on Domantas Sabonis, bagging on DeMar DeRozan. I'm not doing what I just did with the Devin Carter comparison and Russell Westbrook, but can somebody tell me what is jumping out at the screen at you when Dennis Schroeder plays basketball? Because I don't remember 32 minutes. Can somebody tell me, hey, Dennis Schroeder, in a game where they nearly beat the Thunder, can anybody tell me what Dennis Schroeder did really well last night? Can anybody tell me something that Dennis Schroeder has done really well these last 4 games to start the season? Because I don't, off the top of my head, what is standing out to you? And again, this is based on how they talked about Dennis Schroeder to start the season. He was the savior. Can anybody tell me, I don't know if there's a Dennis Schroeder fan club as well, but what has Dennis Schroeder done?
Well, the Dennis Schroeder fan club's all in Germany.
I know he had that. What was that, Kyle? Was that the Jazz game where he had – no. It was a Laker game when he had about 9 assists. He had a ton of assists that game.
Yeah. Look, Dennis Schroeder, we talked about this before. I'm trying not to set the bar high for people because I think he's good for 14 points, 6 assists. He's a 26th best point guard in the NBA, and he will be above average compared to what the Kings had before, but make you disappointed when you think about having De'Aaron Fox and Kevin Huerter previously be their 1 and 2, and now it's him and Zach LaVine, which they've both been fine.
Zach LaVine's been doing his job.
What stood out to me was just the amount of shots Schroeder had taken early on. Yeah. One of those misses last night, which he didn't take very many shots, but Westbrook did, I'll tell you that. But last night, one of those layups he missed, he smoked it, and it led to a triple. Like you mentioned, there were some assists, but not a lot. Assists was pretty even across the board. Nobody had more than 4, but the team had 21 as a whole. So it's kind of just an evenly distributed game. I guess just in the flow, Westbrook's handling the ball sometimes, DeRozan's handling the ball sometimes, so Schroeder kind of becomes that wing, at least on offense.
Yeah. Think about what you just said, by the way.
Schroeder becomes a wing?
Think about what you just said. After 4 months of, we need a point guard. We need a point. Does anybody have, please, sir, can I please have a point guard? After all that, he's a wing. By the way, and TR is making a good case here. TR says too much Sabonis hate. Russell Westbrook should never have the most field goal attempts on the team. That is actually insane. He had the most field goal attempts. Russell Westbrook had 16. Domas had 15. DeMar had 14. And Zach LaVine had 13. That is a topsy-turvy world.
Hey, Allen, let Russ be Russ. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. No, that's the one where, and we'll play the Doug Christie sound about being 4-0 in a second. If this were any other team other than the Sacramento Kings, and I saw a box score and Russell Westbrook was your leading scorer, I would just chalk that up as an unserious operation for the rest of the season. in what world? You talked about the 30 for 30. Forget the 30 for 30. Russell Westbrook coming off the couch and being your number one scoring option in a game against the Thunder that they actually almost won.
Maybe somebody from the Russell Westbrook fan club will say that's the reason that the Kings almost won. The reality is they didn't. So I don't really care. They did not win.
It's unserious. It's unserious to see Russell Westbrook as your leading shot taker. I know it was close. LaVine had 13, DeRozan had 14, Sabonis had 15. It's more of a technicality, but it's just crazy that we're even talking about that in the same breath.
Yeah, and Malik Monk, 25 minutes. He had 9 points, a quiet night for him, 0 of 3 from three-point land, 3 of 4 from free throw, 3 of 7 from the field. He had 4 assists. He had 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and 1 steal. He was a positive. The bench was all positive. DeMar was broke even at 0, but some big negatives from the starters, and then the bench was all positive. Keon Ellis was 4 of 10 from he did take 10 shots, and I was happy about that. Keon Ellis, 4 of 10 from the field, 26, nearly 27 minutes, 2 of 5 from three-point land, 12 points. So he got his 12 points. That's what I wanted. And he was positive 5, 0 assists for Keon. He only had 2 fouls. He had 2 steals as well, 1 blocked shot. DeMontis had a blocked shot as well, and he had 2 rebounds. Drew Eubanks, nearly 13 minutes, no points. 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 turnover, 1 block shot, and he was a positive 9. Devin Carter, in his real debut, we can call it, 8 minutes, 51 seconds. He took 1 shot. He missed. He made that shot. He had 2 free throws, went 2 for 2 from the line, and Devin has struggled at the line. He did not take a 3, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 1 assist. He was a positive 8. I thought that was a decent showing for Devin Carter. So that's what the Kings did. As far as the Thunder, kind of bizarre stat line. Cason Wallace was a minus 17. He was 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5. Didn't feel like a terrible game, but thought they definitely had an opportunity to burn them. There were a lot of open threes out there that the Thunder didn't hit. They shot it at 31.8%. from three-point land. They only took 10 free throws. And, yeah, Cason Wallace, he was 2 of 5, and a lot of those were important ones. Aaron Wiggins he played much better in the first half. He did have 18 points, but he was 4 of 10 from three-point land. He was the one. Him and Cason had a lot of opportunities to kind of end this thing earlier than they did. 7 of 15 from the field. He had 3 block shots, and he was a positive 6. He had 6 assists as well. Lou Dort, a game high, positive 18. Lou Dort, 13 points. He had that dagger 3, and it was his only 3. He was 1 of 6, and the one he made was the one that mattered, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He was 4 of 9 from the 3 of 9. Excuse me, he took 6 threes. Yeah, he made that one. He was 4 of 9 from the field. Hartenstein, 4 points. He had 14 rebounds himself, 2 block shots. He had 3 assists. A good night. He was a minus 5, but a good night for Hartenstein. Just didn't do much offensively scoring the basketball. So I guess maybe him and Domas kind of canceled each other out a little bit. Shea, 35 minutes, nearly 36 minutes, 26 shot attempts. He made 14 of them, only 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He had 9 rebounds for Shea, 4 assists, 2 fouls, 1 steal, 1 turnover, 3 block shots, 31 points. Off the bench, Caruso kind of working him back, played 23 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 5 from three-point land. He was a positive 16. A.J. Mitchell, yeah, I mean, great night for him. 18 points, 3 of 7 from three-point land, 7 of 15, so not terribly efficient. But they're just getting him up. Jalen Williams, I know for a fact he made a 3, but because I definitely kept an eye on him. He was 1 for 6. He took 6 3-pointers.
I mean, they were just letting him shoot it.
Yeah, 6 3-pointers, 3 points. Somehow he was a positive 11, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. That's all that really matters there from the from the box score. So, yeah, I mean, again, a very confusing box score, one that doesn't necessarily say that the Kings should have won, but there are definitely some notes there that would have made you feel like it was theirs for the taking. And it was. 34% from three, 34.5 for the Kings, 90% from the free throw line. They took twice as many free throws. I'm not trying to drum up the complaining, getting back to Austin Reeves, but they took twice as many free throws as the Thunder. They did. Thunder, 45% from the field. The Kings, 42% from the field. So, the rebounds, they out-rebounded the Thunder 46-44. So that you like to see that. They had less assists than the Thunder, 26-21. And the Thunder a couple more fouls, 19 fouls to the Kings. The Kings 16. They both had 11 steals. They had only two more turnovers than the Thunder. The Thunder did block 7 more shots, though. So that was kind of a change that maybe you saw coming just based on Hartenstein and the length that the Thunder have. So there's your box score. Kyle, I know you wanted to play it. So let's get to what Doug Christie had to say and what he's getting absolutely fried for on social media as far as the Kings' record and what it should be.
When I look at this, we probably should be 4-0. But we're not ready to be 4-0. And we got to look in the mirror on that, because 4-0 means all that little stuff that I just said, it gets handled when it's winning time. And, that's on me too. Like the players, I tell them, it's never your fault. I'm always taking the bullet. So I will stand on that and always be in the way to protect them. We just have to figure out how to close now. There's a process to what we do, and I think that we got to continue to stay consistent to what gets us to a place and not think we have to do something extra or get outside of it. Those shots are good enough. And listen, if we create them that way and we miss them, then we live with that. But the ability to make sure that we, free throw rebounds, extra like those, defense doesn't stop until you get the ball. So you really didn't play defense if they got the ball. It doesn't matter what you did. So we have to make sure that all those little things are taken care of. And if they do get taken care of, these games come to win. But, we turn around and now we got to go tomorrow night and we have to figure a way to compete at a really high level and be ready to walk out of there with a W.
That was Doug Christie on the Kings. They should be, and I love these 5 o'clock starts, by the way. They make my life much easier. I know some people are still at work, and I get that for sure. But it's really just how early the games end. That's what I enjoy about it. You look up, it's 4 o'clock. The game's about to start. And they got the same thing tonight, taking on the Bulls. I'm gonna be honest with you, Kyle. My first thought was, this sounds like coach speak. This sounds like I've heard a coach say this to me and teams that I've been on 8,000 times. That was my first thought when he said we should be 4-0, but we're not ready to be 4-0. That was my first thought. Then I thought about it a little bit more, and what I am taking from that is the fact that that unit, you want to start Russell Westbrook, you still got Dennis Schroeder. Domas didn't play the first game. They have not played together a lot, right? Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan they got the most experience together. So they have not played together a lot. Then you throw in the bench, and some of it is how Doug's handling the rotations, but then you throw in the bench, and they don't have a lot of experience together. That Thunder unit, even without Jalen and Chet missed some time last season. They're the champs. So what they're missing in production, they still have in cohesiveness. The Laker game, I'm not giving them any type of pass for the Laker game. And I'm not really giving them any type of pass for the Suns game. There was no Sabonis, I guess, but I really don't even want to give them a pass for the Suns game.
The first half, they scored 71 points.
Right. But that game last night specifically, I get it. So I don't think they should be 4-0, but I do think that they should have a better record. With that being said, and I don't know if this helps or hurts just based on how people do want to get that top pick. But I'll say this. There have been moments throughout this season where the Kings have played majority of a basketball game that I believe would be good enough or is good enough to be the 8th seed. I believe that. The how they started off the season against the Suns, and I would say 3/4. I won't do the fourth. I could say halfway through the fourth, but I'll say 3/4 of last night against a Thunder team that'll probably beat a good amount of teams, even without Chet and Jalen Williams. So that is the positive spin on this. But I feel like we've done this before when Ashley called in and said, well, they were 1-4 to start being team. I've heard that the last 2 years I've been here. The last 2 years I've been here, I've heard the same thing about the Kings starting and comparing it to the Beam Team season from different people, not just Ashley. So that is the positive spin I'll give to it, Kyle, before we do the thing and how Doug is getting fried by the rest of the NBA world. But we have seen about, we'll do it in quarters here because they beat the Jazz, don't get me wrong. We've seen, I think, 60 to 70% of what the Kings have done this season, maybe 60 safer, 60 to 70% of the Kings, how they've played, I believe, is good enough to be the 8th seed. I do believe that. Now, us sitting here, please, sir, can I have an 8th seed? Us sitting here begging for an 8th seed is a different conversation that we're not going to have today. But I do think we've seen about 60 to 70% of the time that the Kings have spent playing, which has been good enough to be an 8th seed. The problem is that other 30 or 40 has been so bad in such bad moments, and more specifically in the West, how the margins are so small, that 30% is the difference between being the 8th seed and Cam Boozer. It's literally that much of a difference.
All right. Are we ready to do the thing now?
You can do the thing.
Okay. I just want to make sure because your point is correct also, but I wanted to do the thing. So are we ready?
I know you want to do the thing, but that's the easy thing to do. I wanted to do the hard thing. Now you can do the easy thing. Go ahead.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Okay, I'll do the thing. So, in terms of the team's record, they could be 4-0 according to Doug. If Sabonis doesn't tip in a shot, they could be 0-4.
Yeah.
I'd say they're 3-1 in the fight so far this year.
Okay.
If they hold on against the Thunder last night, they'd be 2-2. And they are actually 1-3. So we're saying they could be anywhere on the gambit of wins and losses.
Yeah.
So let's just put that aside for now, the actual record of the team. Mm-hmm. If you're saying that this team is not ready to be 4-0, Doug Christie, and then saying immediately after in the clip, and it's not just on the guys, I take the responsibility for it as well.
Yeah.
Then either this is just coach speak at the highest coach speak, and also preface by saying this was his first question. So his first thought after the game was he wants you to know that we should be 4-0.
Kyle, real quick, and then you can keep going. I wanted to give some context. Last season, and I just learned this when I went to, obviously, the home opener. Last season, just to give y'all a little look behind, and you probably know from watching the post games if you can do that. And then they blast your ears, by the way, with that blue screen once they're done, but that's a sidebar.
Yeah, Dave complains about that.
It's the worst. Wake up the kids. Okay, anyway. Last season, Doug would approach the post-game presser, and he would give about 3 to 5 minute blurb, right? He would give a 3 to 5 minute monologue on what he thought happened, how he thought it went, and then questions would start. This season, Doug isn't doing that. So, Kyle, essentially what you're saying is if Doug was still doing the monologue, he probably would have said that. This was something that he definitely wanted to get to.
Yes, and I believe Katie's question was, I could go back and listen to it, but Katie's question that led to this answer was something like, what do you make about the game, essentially? Just giving him the floor to say his thoughts about the game.
Yes.
So back to the point. Let's put the record aside for now. Okay. They could be 4-0, they could be 0-4, they could be 2-2. In the fight, they're probably 3-1, but they're actually 1-3. So just not care about the record. If you're saying, Doug Christie, that this team is not ready to be 4-0, And then immediately saying after that, and it's not just on the players, I take responsibility. We just got to figure out how to close. That was the next thing he said immediately after. Then either this is just you're hitting different coach speak at the same level and we don't have to pay attention to it at all, or I'm going to take what you're saying at face value and conclude that you, Doug Christie, are not ready to be 4-0, and that is why the team is 1-3.
And he said it as much.
Yeah,
he said it as
like
much.
either I can choose to just not pay attention to what you're saying or take you at face value and say, we are not ready to close and it is my responsibility. And I look at that and say, then you, Doug Christie, are not ready to be 4-0.
And he's not, and they're not. This is his first year. This is his first year.
But you talked about the lack of continuity in the lineups, and I'm like, you're playing Russell. What was the point of training camp if you're going to sign Russell Westbrook halfway through and play him 30 minutes and he's going to take the most? Like, all that talk over the summer is like, hey, just give this group time to gel.
And that's what I said that's what I said yesterday, and why I got killed by Westbrook FC, because that was the cut. You're hitting the I don't know what else to do, at least Russ plays really hard button 4 games into I know there's injuries, but not Doug, but the organization was not equipped for one injury to a big piece, Keegan Murray, and a rookie first rounder, but a late first rounder rookie.
Yeah, because I'm infuriated. I mean, again, I've calmed down a bit. When I first heard it, I was like, I'm infuriated by this, because I'm like, whose fault is that? Is it the players? Because if it is, why are we running the Team AARP, the unction, if they're not equipped? DeMar DeRozan is former clutch player of the year.
Yeah. And the other part of that is, again, I know I didn't do the thing. I know I gave more of a positive spin on it. But my initial thought after the game was the average age on this starting lineup, or in the starting lineup, is 32.6. 32.6, right? If you ain't ready to take care of business when you're 32.6 years old, when the hell are you going to be ready? Now, that's why I said, hey, they haven't specifically played together, but this is the equivalent. I mean, look, people get married at every age, but if you're 32, you've been dating someone since college. You see what I'm saying? Allen, I don't know if you're ever going to be ready. I don't know if you're ever going to be ready when you're 32. You're almost 33 years old. You've been dating the same person for 10 years.
And to this point, and I see the Sac Chat replying to it too, Martin Ramirez makes a good point. If you want to blame this on the players, I get it. He's saying, like, it's not DC's fault when you sign Saric and Eubanks as your backups. And, like, yes, I agree with that point. If we want to do that, that's the point. That's not what Doug is saying.
But
Doug
he's not going to say that.
But he's saying the injuries don't matter. We should be 4-0. He wants you to know that we should be 4-0 with this group. And if I'm to take that at face value, then the problem is Doug in that situation.
Maybe it is right now. Maybe it is. And look, you got Mike Woodson, who's got how many years experience coaching? Bobby Jackson's a bit newer, but you have guys. Steve Kerr, famously, the Andre Iguodala starting thing, you can lean on your guys. That's why you have an experienced coaching staff. I don't know what's going on within that group. Maybe it's still early on. I don't know if Doug is the only one pressing the buttons. I don't know who it is as we kind of make our way, and we got to get to the other side, to this Keon debate, whether it's Keon or Malik Monk, who it is right now pushing all the buttons, because this closing lineup, again, is 1-2. I don't know what they are in the fight, but they're 1-2. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Time now for your Sactown 49ers report, brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco loses in Houston on Sunday, 26-15, to fall to 5-3 on the year. The Niners played again without Brock Purdy, and they struggled offensively to score early, going down 13-0. The Niners are back in action on Sunday morning in New York. You can catch all the action beginning at 9 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins. The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
The statewide special election is November 4th. All registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019. Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
For over 90 years, Haken Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Haken Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Your night out deserves more than the ordinary. At Revival at the Sawyer, downtown Sacramento's rooftop oasis, you'll find signature beverages, chef-crafted bites, and a view that makes every moment shine. Kick off your evening in style or wrap it up with energy, because Revival isn't just a stop, it's the heartbeat of the night. Revival, the place to see and be seen. Settle into lush indoor-outdoor seating, take in the sounds of live DJs, and to let the city energy carry you into the night. Book your reservation at revivalsacramento.com.
People are coming from all over to have the best car buying experience at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's because it's the place where a handshake still means something. And right now, it's their Drive in the Fall event, where you're going to get the lowest price guaranteed on your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. See for yourself at SacSuperstore.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And there is quite the Keon debate. Stop me if you heard this before. There is a Keon debate going on. And at 12, we're going to get to that Domantas Sabonis conversation. Really excited to have that one. So this is from, I don't want to get his last name wrong, but Tony Epsteris. I'm going to try it that way. Just go with that. From the Kings Herald. And Tony says, Kings were up 97-94 with 4 minutes, 35 seconds remaining when Keon Ellis checked out. The Thunder closed on a 13-4 run. The Kings lose 107-101. So, funny enough, or I should say interestingly enough, some people are not necessarily buying it the same way. And they're saying, hey, it's not that simple. Keon had a really bad play where he tried to pickpocket, who was it, A.J. Mitchell, and there was nobody home in the paint, and the Thunder were able to score that way. Now, every player makes mistakes. That's not a reason to just. I don't think he was benched in any capacity. But going back to Mike Brown, there were some things that he said Keon needs to work on from the defensive and, of course, offensive standpoint. So it's starting to come out that the purple lenses for Keon, they don't seem as tinted as they once were. And I've always gone back and forth. I love Keon. It's just been, I've more so been about get what you can for him versus arguing about when he should or shouldn't be playing. But this Keon conversation, it rolls on. And my first thought is, it says more to me that there were two guys, right? Two guys last season, and I know the Kings were a 9 seed, but there were two guys last season where the huge conversation was who's going to close, right? Keon or Malik. Also the conversation was who was going to start, Keon or Malik. A year later, both them dudes on the bench. Both of them dudes on the bench. Keon is not closing and Malik is not closing. And the way they're playing it, getting back to the Dennis Schroeder piece, is they feel like they're getting similar defense with Dennis Schroeder and playing Malik or closing with Malik and Keon was never a thing based on last season, and it wouldn't be this season either. You can't do that. But closing with Dennis Schroeder as your point guard and obviously Russell Westbrook as your 2-3 hybrid situation, that's what they're choosing to do. Find a way to make a play. Hey, it worked against the Jazz. Now you're looking at 1 and 2. So you mix all that into a pan and the Keon debate continues. I guess the argument why Keon isn't closing is that Russell Westbrook is guarding threes. And you're not going to, and I guess Russell's guarding the threes. DeMar is guarding whoever is the least capable offensive player, and Zach LaVine is guarding the second least most capable offensive player, unless they're too big and Dennis Schroeder cannot guard them. So I guess the big reason I don't have a huge issue for it is because Russ is guarding the Lauri Markkanens and the bigger players. I don't know if that means he should be. Here's the other part, though. You gave Dennis Schroeder the $15 million, but there's a world where I think, and Russell Westbrook fans had initially said, Russ could be starting or Russ could be closing for Dennis Schroeder, right? Because I'm to the point now where I don't think Dennis Schroeder is as good of a defender as Keon Ellis. I don't really care what the Kings try to tell us. Keon Ellis is a better defender than Dennis Schroeder to me. So if Russ is your backup point guard, right, maybe there's a world, even if Russ is guarding threes, you could close with Keon and Dennis Schroeder isn't the one closing, but you just gave Dennis Schroeder $15 million a year. So all these guys, if you ever play Sims, all these guys got little gem asterisks next to them to reasons why you can't sit them. Keon don't got an asterisk and Malik Monk don't got an asterisk, so they can sit there on the bench. But you can't sit, you could sit Russ, but I guess he's playing the hardest, so you won't.
And according to those reports, he might pout and get upset if he doesn't play down the stretch.
Yeah. Well, going back to those reports that we did kind of debunk in a way. But you got that, and Russ, to me, is a 3. So without Neek, we're not arguing Russ. We're not arguing Neek for Russ. There's no other 3, I guess, they deem fit. Maybe, and I'm not going to argue Devin Carter, even though I did argue Devin Carter less than a week ago. But I'm not doing that now. Keon Ellis for Dennis Schroeder, there's a conversation, but Dennis Schroeder making $15 million a year, and we got to see more of it. So I don't know where I fall on the Keon Ellis closing argument, or just taking what Tony said and now saying, well, Keon should have closed. Is it for Russ, Tony? I'm not saying I disagree. I'm saying I don't really know where it fits. As much as I don't love Russ closing as a 3, you can't put Keon in there as a 3.
So, first of all, I think if Neek Clifford were available, he'd probably be on the bench too right now.
Okay.
During the closing stretches.
I would hope not, but okay.
I would imagine that's probably the case. But I just want to outline, I think the conversation about changing the lineup at the end of games is about the desperate need for defense. And I'm just going to lay out numbers. Like Chris Biederman, I saw he put out the lineup of LaVine, DeRozan, Schroeder, Sabonis, and insert fifth person has a negative 25 net rating per 100 possessions.
Not great.
Yes, but he specifically said, I don't want to editorialize. I'm just laying out the numbers. So I'll lay out the numbers about why this is a conversation about not necessarily needing Keon, just needing defense down the stretch. Last night in the fourth quarter alone, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes for 9 points, 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 2 on three-pointers, has a plus 10 rating in the fourth quarter alone. In the Lakers game, Austin Reeves, 15 points, 4 for 5 from the field, 3 for 4 on three-pointers, hit 4 free throws, plus 11 in the box score. Phoenix Suns game, first of all, Devin Booker, Brickmaster, what do you call him? Brickmaster Flex?
Brickmaster Flex.
Brickmaster Flex. But Grayson Allen, 8 points, 2 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3 on 3-pointers, hit 2 free throws, +4 in the plus-minus. So that's kind of the reasoning, is that they need someone to take away the top scoring option on the other team. Because once it gets into clutch time, a lot of it is give the ball to your dude and let your dude cook. And the Kings have been getting cooked because they haven't put anyone on the floor who can guard that dude, whether it's Grayson Allen or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just whoever the team gives the ball to and says go down the stretch.
Right. And you're saying, obviously, because the only thing is that in the Laker game where Keon did start, he was in foul trouble. He ultimately fouled out.
Yeah, exactly.
So that one we can kind of separate. But in the other games, again, are you saying that is it Russell Westbrook and you move Schroeder or Zach to the 3? Zach would then have been guarding Lauri Markkanen. And last night you could have done that because the Thunder weren't that big last night. So last night, and again, Russ had a good night. So you close with Russ. Again, at that point, you're 1-1 with that closing lineup. But now, take it to tonight, for example, if you're in a similar situation, should that be – I'm just trying to figure out, Kyle, are you trying to put Keon in for Russ or Schroeder?
I mean, me personally, I would go with Russ. Mm-hmm. That's nothing against Russ. It's just they need defense at the point of attack, right? And if we're calling Russ the 3, unless he's going to be guarding point of attack instead of guarding on the wing, I think you're better off having him out and having Schroeder guarding if it's, I don't know if it's Dosunmu or whoever they end up closing with tonight, or Kevin Huerter.
Patrick Williams.
Yeah. I mean, I think the bigger thing, though, is like between Grayson Allen, who was essentially running point guard for them, Austin Reeves, who was the primary ball handler, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they need a point of attack defender. And we pulled up those numbers the other day. Who's the best point of attack defender in the league, at least in the top 8? It's Keon Ellis. So Keon is the common denominator now. I think if Neek were available, I think there'd be more of a debate between Keon or Neek. But you just need some defense down the stretch, because whatever they're doing now, whether it's Westbrook guarding point of attack, whether it's DeRozan, whether it's Schroeder, they're just getting beat by these guys.
Are you not entertained? The first 4 games of the season, do you find it to be entertaining? Carmichael Dave does. We'll tell you what he had to say and whether or not you agree, because I don't. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So my sandwich shop was opening in a week, and I needed signage.
A week is plenty of time to panic.
I went to Staples. They printed banners, posters, and flyers to promote my grand opening.
All in time for your grand closing.
Nope, I had it same day. I even got $125 off my order.
Hold the onions. For all your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. In-store and online, same day if ordered by 12 p.m. Into 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at PowerCopiers.com. When the chill in the air sends shivers down your spine, don't let your home turn into a haunted house. Keep things cozy and safe with Maverick Electric, your local family-owned team you can trust. Maverick Electric cares about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. So before the real chill sets in, schedule your seasonal tune-up. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com and let their family keep yours warm and beautiful this Halloween season.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Nine 916-339-1140 at 12 o'clock. This is going to be a polarizing one. Is Domantas Sabonis worrying you? How is that contract starting to look? Is he turning into a board man? Is he just board man? We spoke, what was it, yesterday or maybe even Monday when Brendan Nunes said it was too early, and we'll have the roundtable tomorrow to get all of their thoughts on the first couple games. And that'll be, 5 games now by the time we talk to them. But Domantas Sabonis, who he is as a player, where this thing is going for him offensively, are the Kings doing right by him? All of that we're going to discuss at 12 o'clock. So we really want you to be a part of that conversation in 15 minutes, 916-339-1140. So this is from Carmichael Dave that I wanted to discuss as he had some things to say right after the game. He says, OKC is just too good. Small picture. Kings played their butts off. I loved Doug's rotations. Wasn't perfect, but they took the undefeated defending champs to the wire on their home court. Can't fault the effort. Big picture, it's about as entertaining as 1 and 3 could be. So that's probably the most positive you're ever going to hear Dave right now regarding the Kings, which is why I wanted to spend some time on it, because I'm just struggling with the entertaining thing. And maybe I'm just too hung up on results, but I see 1 and 3. It could be, they could have been blowouts, right? But if you're getting blown out, I know it's the Thunder, but if you're getting blown out to the Thunder without Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, then you got some real issues there to get blown out. And, that Laker game, I might even argue about the Laker game. I don't know how entertaining the Jazz game was off the top of my head. Think about it, though. 1 and 3, that's as entertaining as 1 and 3 can be. You blew a 20-point lead. It was entertaining. The first half was for the Suns, but you blew a 20-point lead to the Suns. You beat a Jazz team that you were supposed to beat, and then you give up 51. I mean, it was entertaining for all the stupid Laker fans in there that never been to L.A., just grew up on Kobe or whoever it was. Maybe it was entertaining for them. And then last night, again, I'm watching maybe the game differently because I got to talk about it for 4 hours the next day, but just with a pit in my stomach thinking they're probably going to blow this. And then at the very end of the game, they blew it. So I don't know. Maybe it just depends on whether this is a job for you or not. But Kyle, that was not terribly entertaining to me.
I disagree. I think that game was fun.
No, I'm saying all four in general.
No,
the most entertaining a 1-3 can be.
That's Dave's assertion?
Yes.
This is the most entertaining?
Yeah, you were taking a call. But yes, it's about as entertaining as a 1-3 season could be. That is a quote from Dave's Twitter X.
I feel like if I were to press Dave on it, because the Washington Wizards are 1-3 as well, and they've apparently been having a super fun time with all their young players.
Yeah.
I think they had a game go to overtime yesterday against the Sixers, and Maxey went for like 39 and 10 or something like, even though I still think he's overrated. But I feel like, well, I guess the Wizards lost to the Hornets by 26. But I feel like if I were to press Dave and say, as entertaining of 1-3, he would find it more entertaining if they had just a gluttony of 20 and 21-year-olds who were playing in competitive games.
But even just the games itself, right? I don't find blowing a 20-point lead as a Kings fan to be entertaining. I don't find watching Austin Reeves destroy your team at home to be entertaining. If these were, I think a better argument might even be the Thunder game, right? But they sold it, the Kings did, the Suns game in the second half. They didn't even wait till the fourth quarter. There are exciting losses, right? There are exciting losses. I don't see any, these are not exciting losses to me. These are annoying losses.
The Suns one was really annoying, but I think that one is where it's like the first half of that Suns game was where, and obviously they had Nick Clifford still for that game and no Sabonis, but that first half of the Suns game, they had their highest scoring half since the De'Aaron Fox trade, so of the interim beam team era. Like that Suns game, that offense was fun to watch in the first half. That Thunder game, that offense was fun to watch at times last night. So I understand that idea of like it's entertaining because they play not a fun brand of basketball, but a brand of basketball that leads to a lot of scoring, and that can be entertaining when it's going well. But no, I kind of with you. I don't really have a hard counterpoint to be like, nah, Dave's on the right track. But at times it's been entertaining.
Look, like I said, it could be worse. They could have gotten blown out in all three losses. I understand that. But to me, there are entertaining losses and out there. And if you want, I can put the game last night into an entertaining loss because, they weren't up. What was their largest lead was 10. They were never up huge. Look, I'll put it in the entertaining category. Sure. I don't know how as a Kings fan you can put Austin Reeves going off for 51 I know as a basketball fan, sure. But Kings fans, I can't even talk about the Lakers for more than 5 minutes without getting a text saying stop talking about the Lakers. So I don't know how that Laker game was entertaining for anybody in Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, I found that entertaining because I'm able to separate the great basketball from the Kings result thing. But I also am not born deep into this fandom like many of the people who are listening to this. So, like, I see Austin Reeves put up 51, and I'm like, wow, that is an incredible performance. Great job, Austin Reeves.
Right. I know I didn't grow up in Sacramento, but I just hate the Lakers, period.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think, again, I know this is sports radio, and we're doing a sports radio debate, but I think my answer to the Dave point is it can be entertaining at times without being as entertaining as a 1-3 season could be. Like it could be far more entertaining.
Yes.
But it has been entertaining. I'd say the first half of the Suns game, the fourth quarter of the Jazz game, I'd say everything except the last 5 minutes of the Thunder game, which even that was kind of like, oh, we've got a close game down the stretch. That's, at least compelling. Maybe not entertaining, but compelling. I'd say the Thunder game, the fourth quarter of the Jazz game, the first half of the Suns game, you have your moments that have been incredibly entertaining.
UPS Chris says, I find I find the start of the season to be very entertaining. They won the game that I went to, so that must have been the Jazz game. Showcase the old guys to trade for draft assets if possible. Keep the games close and actually watchable. Lose as much as we can for the tank job. This team's ceiling is losing in the first round to the Thunder. So again, this is similar to, I think it was Pool Guy Mark, where, hey, if you're going to lose, that's fine. I'm still going to watch even if they lose in the end because at least it's entertaining. 916 says the product itself is no longer entertaining, but the continued failure and the season being a culmination of the failures of Vivek is very entertaining, and I'm so here for it. If we went 1-81, I would be the happiest Kings fan in Sactown. Now, with those flattened odds, you could go 1-81 and still not get your guy.
Yeah, if you go 1-81, you're going to get a top 5 pick, but you got to get top 3 if it means you're going to land.
Boozer, the offensive rebound.
That's right.
I really got to cut DeBansa and Peterson ones.
Hey, I'm waiting for you. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Mitch, who wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Mitch? What you got for us?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for the call. Hope your kids are well there, Big Daddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mitch.
I want to see him play the young guys, especially the tall ones like Isaac Jones and players we drafted. The small ball, and I believe it's a deep draft. One thing, why is we have 4 guards? It looks like Russell Westbrook is playing power forward. I mean, what's next? Somebody like DJ Youngalele starting for Las Vegas Raiders.
I don't know, Mitch. Thanks for the call. Look, speaking of, if you want to continue to be in sports hell, if you are a Kings Raiders fan out there, my guy is returning. The Raiders have opened up the practice window for Aiden O'Connell. At least Aiden O'Connell's coming back to save the season.
Oh my gosh, the amount of rage that would bundle up inside you if you saw a second of Aiden O'Connell this year.
I probably will.
Are you still? Raiders were on bye this week, mercifully. Are you still just it's over? Burn it down.
Of course I am. Go get Fernando Mendoza, and let's see what we can do.
Allen, I keep trying to tell you. I know it's boring. I know it's annoying. Just take a left tackle.
Fine, take a left tackle. Then next season, get Marcel Reed from Texas A&M. I will allow that.
Sure. Just pick a left tackle.
I will allow that. All right. We got the 12 o'clock hour coming up next. Is it time to worry about Domantas Sabonis in this offense? And what did you think about his performance yesterday? Is it getting overblown, or is that how people should talk about how he's been playing lately? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
KHDK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Do the Kings just need more time? That's from the 408. 408, isn't that San Jose? I feel like that's San Jose. Santa Clara County, San Jose, Cupertino, Gilroy, Silicon Valley. Oh, we got the big money out there. That's from the 408. 408 says, you basically have a whole new Kings team and basically a new coach. They're still figuring stuff out. Give them some time. They have to learn to play together. They have to learn how they cover defense together. Give him time.
Silicon Valley, is this maybe a burner phone?
Hey, I don't know about that. Look, 408. Shout out the Silicon Valley, San Jose area. It's beautiful out there. I'm not here to agree or disagree with you. The numbers are the numbers, and they just have to win at some point. The more you lose early, the more you have to make up for it. They've had 3 really good opportunities to win. And really what Doug said, they should be 4-0. I think, well, they weren't favored last night, but based on when they've been favored, because I believe they were favored against the Lakers, obviously, with no Luka and LeBron. They've been favored in 3 of these games. They should, at worst, be 3-1 based on Vegas. So that ain't going to happen for a lot of the rest of these 20 games. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm not disagreeing with you, 408. They just have to win games at some point. That's it. They have to win games at some point sooner rather than later. How about that?
Well, I think the other point, too, is you do have a basically whole new team and a basically whole new coach since last year. But all of the experts, all of the pundits, and all of us watching this and who know NBA basketball, I'm not even counting myself, but God knows I don't know what I'm talking about. But everyone's telling you that this is not it, right? From the very beginning, every sports book, every expert is telling you this team is not as good as the team that was previously here. And even if you gave them the chance to gel, it's not going to be a 3 seed. It's not going to be a 5 seed. It might not even be a 7 seed. And that's kind of the underlying point of it, is like you're giving it time to gel. To what end, essentially? To what ceiling are we even really talking about here?
Yeah. 916-339-1140. This is from Will, the 916. Will says, you guys are really delicate with your Domas criticism. Instead, you're hating on Russ. Schroeder didn't impress either last night. He only had 3 assists and then a couple laughing emojis. Yeah, I don't necessarily think we've been delicate with the Domas thing. It's just, what do you want from him and what do you expect from him? And that's what we've kind of had the conversation as far as the money. And I know it's not easy to do the money thing because of how the cap has changed and when you sign. So it's not incredibly easy to say, well, this person is making this and that person is making that, so it's a bad contract or whatever it is. I think at the time you definitely could argue that, and the only way we kind of sort of do it is this AAV thing, because I'm looking here, Kyle, and yeah, I mean, when you get to the 40s where Domantas Sabonis pops up, and there's still the Zubac thing, but you got around the Domas realm, and some of these contracts start next season, like Jalen Williams, for example. And again, it's not the same because of when these contracts do get signed, but around the Domas area, you have what? KD just signed a new one, but you had KD making 48, Jalen Williams, that starts in 2026. He'll be making 48. Chet's going to be making 48. Paolo's going to be making 48. Anthony Edwards, 48. And then after that, you got Paolo with his max at 48. Pascal at 47. Domantas Sabonis at 46. And then, Kevin Durant is in here twice because of his Houston deal, but that Houston deal is going to be at 45. Franz at 44, Scotty at 44. I don't know that Scotty Barnes is worth $45 million.
But he's younger, so you think there's a ceiling.
He is. He's only 22. Zach LaVine is at 43. Luka, 43. Trey is at 43. Jaren Jackson at 41, but he's got that new one coming that's going to be ridiculous. OG at 42. So it's really hard to nail down how good or bad it is. And obviously these contracts every year, there's people signing extensions, things like that. It's not a great contract, but whether it might be the second worst on the team, but compared to some of these guys, and we've talked about the Jalen Suggs and Emmanuel Quickleys, who they're getting hefty in the 30s and they haven't played a ton. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just not willing to say it's a terrible contract. It will be a terrible – this is what I've been saying. It will be a terrible contract if you're just going to have Domas rebound all day. Then it is a terrible contract.
Well, this is kind of the weird situation. And Jerry, you mentioned the Jerry Reynolds point earlier where he said Keegan would be one other person to get phased out in this offense.
Yeah.
It sure feels like Domantas Sabonis is getting phased out. So I don't know what the answer is to the question about whether we're being too harsh or too lenient on Sabonis. He's also playing hurt right now.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely...
That's a good point. That's a huge point.
Yeah, I mean, we thought he was going to be reevaluated in a week. Livermore Pat was the only one who knew he was going to be back. So... I don't know. I just don't know what to do with the Sabonis situation. It's almost like we're just now figuring out if this is a trend or if this is just an anomaly right now.
Well, you know what this reminds me of a little bit, and this one went longer than the current state with Sabonis because it's a hamstring. I don't know. I mean, this is exactly the same as former King De'Aaron Fox and his pinky.
I was going to say Buddy Hield.
Was it his pinky?
Was that index finger?
Index finger. It was a finger.
Well, sorry, no. Index finger was the playoffs. Pinky was last
year. It was the pinky. So last season, which feels like a lifetime ago, last season, De'Aaron's playing with the pinky, right? Then he drops 60 with the pinky. We don't talk about the pinky. Then when De'Aaron doesn't play good, then we can talk about the pinky. And it leaves us all in a weird spot because how are we supposed to evaluate De'Aaron with the pinky? Because we only talk about the pinky when he doesn't play well, when he doesn't shoot well. So Domantas Sabonis, the hamstring wasn't really an issue when it comes to getting 18 rebounds. So I don't know what to do with the Domas is playing hurt thing because did it look like, does Domas have more of a bag with the healthy hamstring? I've watched Domas play Hartenstein 4 times. He has never played well offensively against Hartenstein. So that is not the hamstring to me. That is not the bag work to me. That is the fact that maybe it's a bad matchup, and we can talk about when he returned against the Jazz as well. And, of course, with the Lakers, I thought the Jazz, I gave him a pass for the Jazz game. There was 18 7-footers. Zach LaVine could not see what was going on the court like Tua. I gave Domas a pass for the Jazz game. The Laker game, a little bit more confusing. There's foul trouble involved. DeAndre Ayton played fairly well, especially for DeAndre Ayton. So that is where we start to have this conversation because he did not shoot a ton against that team. And then you have last night where Hartenstein, maybe it's just a bad matchup. Maybe Hartenstein just owns his lunch.
Maybe Hartenstein's just hitting push shots on him all the time.
All the time. So I'm willing to say, hey, let's wait it out. But that hamstring to me is not why Domas could not score against Hartenstein because Domas has never been able to score against Hartenstein. And now tonight, maybe it's a better matchup with a Vucevic, and he'll be able to do some more against him. But that's why I'm not necessarily – I understand he's not playing 100%, but the injury thing, we talk about it when they're not playing well. And he still had 18 rebounds, don't get me wrong. It's just when you look at the $46 million, whatever it is, does that seem to add up as far as what his production looks like? These are some breakdowns here. Games where Domantas Sabonis has scored 10 points or fewer as a Sacramento King. Pre-De'Aaron Fox, 6 times in 208 games. Post-De'Aaron Fox, 5 times in only 50 games. First time with 10 points or less in back-to-back games since April 2021 with the Pacers. In the fourth quarter last night, he had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers. He got called for that offensive foul. He also got stripped by, it was a combination of Lou Dort and Hartenstein. They ganged up on him, but they got him.
Ripped that sucker free.
They did. And then did not get there was another rebound that he missed as well off the Hartenstein missed free throw. So, and that one, I'm not going to put all on Domantas Sabonis, but yeah, I mean, it goes more so to maybe you never know what you got until it's gone. And De'Aaron and Domantas Sabonis had a good connection, at least on the court, because that is, and Kyle pulled these numbers, and I appreciate it, Kyle. 6 times in 208 games versus 5 times in 50 games for that 10 points or fewer. That's huge. The first time Domantas Sabonis, 10 points or less, back-to-back games since 2021. I don't even know if Kyle was in college yet. It was a long time ago. Kyle was taking the SATs.
April 2021, I was a sophomore in college.
Kyle was taking the ACTs and the SETs. That's how long ago that was. That's a crazy stat, man. That's a crazy stat.
I also just don't know what to do with it at all, right? Like, the one with the 5 times in 50 games, that's the one I think is more representative of sample size. This is more of a trend than it was in the previous iteration of the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm with you there, but they got to figure this out. And I don't know. I saw some people say, does it feel like Domas is regressing at all, or is he plateauing, or is he on the other side of his peak? I don't know. I think it's too early to say that, but we have to see them at least shove the ball to Domantas Sabonis all game. Just feed him all game. And I think against Vucevic, this is a good opportunity, right? Hartenstein has always been a bad matchup for him. you should make a concerted effort today to say, Domantas Sabonis, we're going to get going with you here. And again, Kyle, we spoke yesterday about the assists. Again, he had 3 assists last night. 3 assists. This guy used to be a hub. He was the hub. And what's confusing to me is that he had 3 assists. Oh, okay, that's because they brought in Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder had 3 assists.
So it's almost like they have too many facilitators now?
Too many. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, everybody had at least 3 assists in the starting lineup. Everybody had 3 assists in the starting lineup. Russ had 4.
Malik had 4.
And Malik had 4.
Yeah, that was the whole team.
So maybe that's not as much as of an issue if they're all doing it. But again, they're not winning games.
Yeah, so this is the interesting thing with Sabonis. By the way, I messed up one of the numbers, too. I took his games before the Fox trade last year. So this is actually, to correct the stat, 6 times in 208 games he had fewer than 10 points with De'Aaron Fox as a King.
Mm-hmm.
Post-Fox trade, it's 5 times in 26 games. He's only played 26 games with this new group, and 5 times he hasn't gone to 10-plus points, which means he is very much a backseat in the offense.
He's an afterthought right now.
And I don't know what to do with that because conventional wisdom says your best player should be the one who is your leading shot taker and go-to guy. But Sabonis is such a unique player where he makes his teammates better by facilitating. I don't know what to do with it.
So he did have the second most shot attempts last night. It just didn't go well for him because, like I said, it's a bad matchup with Hartenstein. So he was trying to get him up yesterday. He was trying to get him up last night. I would honestly, I think tonight's going to be a good night for him. I think the Vucevic matchup definitely helps. Less of a bruising type of center as we've seen. So I do think Domantas Sabonis will have a good scoring night because I'm not going to say he hasn't been having good nights. Just scoring-wise and facilitating-wise, he hasn't been able to do a ton. So I do think that tonight's going to be a good night for Domantas Sabonis. Here's the thing about when you're playing injured, I don't know when you have time to heal, right? Like, I don't know when Domas is going to be back to 100%. So me, who gets paid to evaluate this stuff, I don't know when I should say, okay, Domas is 100% now. Now we can evaluate him and be harder on him. So I see you on the 916 on the text line. Domas is playing hurt, and a couple people have said that on the chat as well on the YouTube. I don't know what to do with it right now. When is it okay to say whether it is a product of the injury or not? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You know, because he's going to continue to play. Domas played 35 minutes last night. 35 minutes. I think tonight is a night where against Vucevic, who isn't as much of a bruising center, right? Who's just going to kind of plot like a plotting center. That's what Chris Watkins would always say, a plotting center. Let's see what Domas can do tonight, and let's see him facilitate the basketball more. I think, Kyle, you hit the nail on the head. There's just too many facilitators, right? Because you had 5 less. I mean, think about let's look at the Thunder. The Thunder they all had at least 3 assists besides Lou Dort. That's not why I'm here. Caruso had 3 off the bench. Jalen Williams, as a center, had 4. So and last night, and Shea, his prop talk is set at 8. He only had 4. So normally they expect Shea to do more. They were facilitating pretty well. Wiggins finds his way with 6. So it's not – I guess you could try to put a positive spin on it and say, hey, when it was the Domas hub, their ceiling, they lost in the first round, whatever it is. Now, obviously, their win total is less, but maybe there is something to be said about maybe the assist part of it. I shouldn't harp on as much as just the actual scoring. Now, I think his ability to assist and fake out defenders does help his scoring, but maybe, hey, based on this team, there's not 6 assists. There's not 5, 6 assists out there for Domas. You got 4 point guards. You got 12 guards. So you have 3 guys that are capable of hitting their assist quotas, and that's Dennis, Russell, and Malik. So with the 3 of them, you're just not going to have the same assist opportunities out there. And then you throw in DeRozan, who he can assist the basketball pretty well. So maybe the assist thing is a little bit overblown, and we should focus as much on the scoring as anything else. I think it goes hand in hand as far as his usage. But yeah, maybe the assist thing is there's just too many guards. He's just not gonna have as many assists.
Well, the having too many assists thing is good when you have the flow offense, but the thing that I've noticed about their flow offense is that the flow never comes back around to Sabonis. Mm-hmm. It's like we can flow amongst ourselves, but the flow never finds its way to Domas. A lot of his shots last night are off of offensive rebounds and putbacks most of the time.
Yeah, the 916 says he looks unmotivated, and honestly, why should he be motivated? He's paid obscene money, got his wine business, and I think basketball is lower on his list of priorities than 2 to 3 seasons ago. Now, y'all know I love talking about the guy who just gets paid a lot of money and can't say that he doesn't care about winning. Like, I've joked. These are jokes about Devin Booker signing that absurd contract, getting paid $60+ million a year, and why would he want to leave? Y'all know I love joking about that. I guess half joking about that. It is way too early to do that with Domantas Sabonis. I am not for a second going to say he looks unmotivated coming off a hamstring injury in the 4th game. If there's ever a time to have that conversation, I promise you I will not be afraid to have it. But 4 games into the season, I can't do that. I cannot do that right now. I won't do that to Domantas Sabonis. That's not fair to Domantas Sabonis. He does get paid an obscene money, and he does have a wine business, but I'm not having that conversation. He wants to be in Sacramento. These guys want to win. And when I have these jokes, it's not about them not wanting to win. That's the joke that I've made of it. It's the joke that they'd rather stay comfortable where they're at versus go chase a ring in some random city. And I'd probably be the same way, but I cannot, and I wouldn't even ever say that Devin Booker is unmotivated, no matter how much money these guys are making. So I would never say that about Domantas Sabonis. It just doesn't look, it's just too, I can't even tell you whether that's true or not. You know what I mean? And it would be irresponsible to say that, but I definitely can't say that after 4 games. No, I cannot say that.
I mean, we don't know these people. We don't know the motivations and all the stuff like that. That's why it's always like, I'm not really the crush the player kind of person because I just don't know these guys and know what's going on in their head situation. Yeah. Unless they are telling us exactly what is happening, which the NBA has kind of taken all the personality out of the league in these interviews.
And to be fair, the 916, it's opinion, right? Said he looks unmotivated. That's the 916's opinion. I do not have that opinion yet. And it's very hard to have that opinion about athletes because they all make so much money. They all make so much money. So it's hard to say, hey, that person looks less motivated than that person. So I don't normally go down that path unless I'm joking about Devin Booker and his lowriders or Dame who wanted to put out rap albums in Portland.
Before that text, I did have one more thought about the Sabonis of it all, right? Is we were thinking like, okay, the reason why the point center thing works so well is you have shooters across the floor that teams have to respect. And if they bring the double team, you can spray it and shoot it kind of situation. Like the Beam Team season, Keegan shoots 41% from 3. Harrison Barnes is a 38%. Kevin Huerter went to the All-Star 3-point contest. Like you have these great shooters around you. And conventionally, I would say, well, they don't have great shooters now, so that makes it tough. But we talked about it yesterday. The Kings are 2nd in the league in 3-point shooting right now. Yeah. And it's a super small sample size, but like Malik is killing it from 3, like career best so far. Keon Ellis is killing it from 3. Russell Westbrook's shooting 50% from 3. And we know Russ is really good at the corner threes. So if they wanted to get Sabonis more involved and go back to playing that style that complements his abilities best, I actually think they can do it. We know Zach is an elite 3-point shooter. We know Westbrook can hit the corner threes. Malik's been great this year. Keon, like they can actually do it. If they put the right rotations out there, I think they could be very effective running the offense through Sabonis.
Yeah, and again, this is where Doug is going to earn his paycheck. Right, and what was it, Kyle? 2 years with the 3rd-year option? That's what it was, right?
Yes.
The team option. This is where Doug is going to earn that, right? He's going to earn that by identifying the issues that this team has and finding a way to overcome them, right? By out-kicking the coverage. Because right now, I mean, I don't even know. I guess when you do have a low bar, right now I think they're kicking their coverage. Because if you closed your eyes and didn't know that LeBron and Luka didn't play and that Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren didn't play, they're kind of on track. So they could have taken advantage, but they didn't. But they are kind of on track. So I guess a weird positive spin on this is that they're on track based on the names of the teams they played without context. So now, starting tonight, you start to make some of these adjustments and there's still time, right? You should have won that Suns game, but there is still time to outkick your coverage and to exceed expectations. Those wins would have been nice against the Lakers and the Thunder, but on paper at the beginning of the season, they weren't supposed to win them. I know I had them beating the Lakers, but I didn't have them beating the Thunder. They weren't supposed to win them anyway, so there's still time to exceed expectations. That doesn't mean exceeding expectations could be 36 games, but you could exceed expectations and feel a little bit better about that. To heck with the older players. What about Doug's growth? To feel better about Doug's growth as a coach, to feel better about this coaching staff as a whole. What about that growth?
Yeah, see, that's the interesting one, because to your point about being on pace, we said if we do the 5-game chunks thing like Mike Brown used to do, the 2 that we would chalk up as wins are Jazz and Bulls, and the 2 we would chalk up as losses are Lakers and Thunder. And so far, they are on pace with those ones. The one that was in the middle is the Suns, and I think they really did trick off that Sun. Like, they should have won that Suns game. Out of the Lakers,
I agree.
The Thunder, that's the one where, like, you were up 20 points against a team that might be the worst defense among teams trying in the league, and you tricked that one off. That one was the tough one. But yes, I would say right now they're on pace. Now they're playing the undefeated Bulls, and I'm scared that when we play Guess the Spread, they're going to be underdogs tonight. But they are still on that pace right now. To your point, if it continues to have stretches of, we're talking about these 5-game chunks, if we have a bunch of these where they're 2-3s and 1-4s, and Keegan comes back and they're 5-15 at that point, or 6-14, then the question's going to be more so about, are we going to see any growth from the pieces that we think are actually going to be on the team when they're trying to compete?
When we return, we will be joined by Sam Smith at Bulls.com, writer for the Bulls, author of Jordan Rules as well. He's covered the Bulls for over 40 years. We'll talk to Sam about how the Bulls have maybe figured some things out and turned this thing around, not for the short term, but with some draft assets, they might find themselves in a pretty good position. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Time now for your Sactown 49ers report, brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco loses in Houston on Sunday, 26-15, to fall to 5-3 on the year. The Niners played again without Brock Purdy, and they struggled offensively to score early, going down 13-0. The Niners are back in action on Sunday morning in New York. You can catch all the action beginning at 9 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace. and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Born in 1892 to a socially prominent family, she was the consummate athlete, proficient in golf, tennis, marksmanship, swimming, and car racing. Many considered her the greatest horsewoman of the century. She was a pioneer in the field of golf course development with 3 world-class courses on her resume: the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club, Cypress Point, and Pasatiempo. Working for SFB Morse of Pebble Beach fame led to her second golf course development, which many consider to be the greatest golf course in the world, Cypress Point, where she developed a lifelong friendship and professional relationship with famed architect Alistair McKenzie. Pasatiempo in Santa Cruz was her third development, where she hosted the likes of Bobby Jones, Will Rogers, Babe Saharias, and more. Today, her place is alongside many others in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Marion Hollins, a visionary golf course architect and pioneer of the game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Ready to pregame for your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years where aloha is served daily. Located just steps from the arena, whether it's game day or a concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. Planning a bigger get-together? Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options to bring those fresh, delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We are back, working our way through hour 3. I just want to say, it doesn't really feel like that. Whenever I say this stuff out loud, hour 3, and I'll talk to people and say, man, you do 4 hours. I just want to say, all you great listeners and viewers and Kyle, does not make it feel, it does not feel like 4 hours that I do a 4-hour show. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. So I just want to say thank you all for that, all the interaction. When I see you out and about, it's always a lot of fun. So it does not feel like a 4-hour show. Whenever I say hour 3, man, I've been doing this for 3 hours today. It doesn't feel like it.
It also helps that, I'd say 30 minutes after a show ends, we just completely forget whatever we talked about.
Yeah, it's just, it's like when you cram for a test. It's a big brain dump at about 2:05 every single day. And I do keep a good bit of it. 916-339-1140, that is the call line. And that is how Sam Smith is joining us, who is a Bulls writer for Bulls.com, also the author of The Jordan Rules. Sam, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure, yeah. It just feels like 3 hours so far.
Hey,
that was a joke.
It's going to go quick with you, Sam. We appreciate you taking some time. Sam, just a couple months ago, I played a sound, right? And the sound was from a Chicago radio station, and it talked about how the Bulls team had no direction, and in the clip, they did not say the Chicago Bulls. So I played the clip on air, and I asked the listeners, who do you think they were talking about? And everybody said the Kings. Then when I revealed that it was the Bulls, everyone said that was a bit interesting. But now, Sam, a couple months later, you got that 12th pick, Asenge, who hasn't played a ton yet. You still have Kobe White. You still have Vucevic, Matas Buzelis, one of my favorite picks from that draft. You obviously go get Josh Giddey. It feels like you are a good luck draft away from turning this thing around when you finally move on from Vucevic and Kobe White. Let's say you get a top 5, top 7 pick. You own your draft pick. I know you're undefeated now, which isn't helping that case, but it feels like in just a couple months, there's a bit more hope with the Chicago Bulls. Am I right on that, or am I overshooting it?
There's a bit more hope because they're 3-0. Fans are. I'm sure it's the same way wherever everybody is. But I think for the community, the thing is, I don't think anybody is mistaking what's going on for the Jordan era or even the Derrick Rose era. Mm-hmm. But I think there's kind of a final, I don't know if you call it relief or finally is like, all right, we at least finally picked the lane.
Right.
And it wasn't necessarily the fault. They had a team that was, with basically the foundation of the Kings team now, Levine and DeRozan, that was leading the Eastern Conference just before the All-Star break, when Lonzo Ball got hurt and Alex Caruso that season 3 or 4 years ago. So they were a little slow in adjusting. It's common in the NBA front offices, they're not the brightest people, but they have the jobs, and they tend to hope what worked before will work again. So, they hoped, Lonzo would get better, and they would replace somebody, whatever. Alex, it came along, but he was having some injury issues on and off. And so I think now, finally, as you outlined, with some young players, they sort of have a direction. The only problem is I think they have like 8 free agents, unrestricted. Basically, everybody's unrestricted. So, who knows what'll happen next summer? I got a half dozen guys who would just leave. So at least they have some pieces of the foundation. And I think the community is at least relieved about that.
Talking to Sam Smith, who covers the Bulls writer for Bulls.com. Sam, I know hindsight is 2020. We've seen this with the Cam Johnsons and certain other players. But do you think with Kobe White now being injured, he's on that expiring contract, but I saw he's dealing with the calf. Do you think the Bulls regret moving him a little bit earlier? They did not extend him. Everybody, I thought, felt as if they would move him. There was the Kuminga conversation. They decided we're just going to hold on to him. It feels like the idea is to move him and as an aspiring contract, whoever he goes to will then sign into an extension and the Bulls would get some decent draft capital back for him. But do you think the Bulls regret holding on to him and going about it the way they've gone about it?
No, they offered him a max deal. It just so happened because of the previous contract he signed under the rules of the labor agreement, he could only sign for, I think it was 140% of his previous salary, which in the modern NBA was low. I think it was 10 or 11 million.
Right.
So I think his deal was like 90 million or something he could sign for 4 years. And, while 20 million may sound like a lot to us, it's kind of almost the average salary in the NBA these days.
Right.
So he was coming off a season in which he led the team in scoring. He was runner-up for most improved player. So his value, it increased markedly. So they did what they could, and, he said, I'm going to play out the market. And then, unfortunately, he got this calf injury, which 10 years ago we wouldn't have thought much about it. But last year, like 6 guys who got calf injuries ended up with Achilles after that, and that's the whole year. So I think that's where he is now. And, and that's what I meant about management. So no offense, people are like that. Well, when things are going well, you don't think of getting rid of guys. And, maybe now they might, but now his value is sort of at the bottom. He's injured. They don't know when he'll play. I mean, he doesn't have value now as an unrestricted free agent. So, I think they were looking at, hey, this is a guy who can average 20 to 25 points a game. Not easy to replace. So I don't think they were anxious to do anything, because if they I think they would have done something. Now it's like, okay, we've got a damaged goods. Anyone interested? Well, no.
Yeah, right.
So that's just the way things work.
But people
everywhere are not smart enough to see the future.
Well, you never know, Sam. I mean, he is wearing a Bulls jersey, which means by law and by rule that the Kings are interested. The Kings are interested in some capacity. We just don't know what. Another combo guard under about 6'5". The Kings will probably say, any from the Bulls? Sounds like a future King to me, Sam. Talking to Sam Smith, Bulls writer for Bulls.com. Speaking of guys that you have and haven't moved, Sam, are they ever going to move Vucevic? Or is that over? What's going on there?
Well, he's off the record, the best start of his career. Had 3 great games. Look, he's been there, I don't know, 5-6 years, whatever. He was at the start of the new management, first thing they basically did. And he's also an unrestricted free agent, and he makes $21 million. And, it's been no secret that they have offered him around because they don't think, it seems unlikely they'll re-sign him. But, you got to take back 21 million or something. And, their commitment is, we're not going to mess with our free agency room because next summer they should have, 60, 70, depending on who they re-sign. They should still have 50, 60 million, 70, whatever it is. So, there are teams that'll say, yeah, we'll take Vucevic on, but, we'll give you this guy who makes 20 million for the next 4 years. I said, no, we're not taking that. So it's difficult to make that kind of deal. That said, for the interim, he's really playing well. He's moving down. Now, I'm not necessarily saying 50 games from now it'll be the same, but, right now he's playing really well. If you look at his numbers, he's leading the team in scoring, rebounding, shooting, and he's among the top couple in plus-minus. So there's no desperation. It's not like he's taking up space and hurting the team.
Right.
It's just, he's not part of the future because most of these guys, as you mentioned, young guys, low 20s, he's 35, 15 years in the league. And also from his standpoint, he's never been out of the first round. He's been an all-star. He's never been out of the first round. I think he wants to be somewhere his last couple of seasons where he has a chance to make a long playoff run. And as well as the Bulls are playing now, I don't think anybody projects that. So I think he'd like to go too, but he's too political and too good a guy to ever say something like that.
Talking to Sam Smith, who covers the Bulls for Bulls.com. Sam, we have a fourth overall pick out here in Keegan Murray. He just got paid. You have a fourth overall pick who might be one of the most confusing players in the league. So I'm hoping you can help us with the confusion. He's barely 24 years old. He shoots the 3-ball for his career at 39%. He's 6'7". I mean, this is the prototypical guy these days. What is the disconnect with Patrick Williams, and is there still hope that he can, I guess for lack of a better term, figure it out?
Yeah, I think he's figured it out. I think management and the public made a mistake. They, it happens in the NBA. He didn't ask to be drafted fourth. I don't think anybody had him as a top 10 pick other than the Bulls. So I think at the time, the Bulls were, they had a good veteran core with, Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic, Ball, Caruso. So they were looking for a 4 or 5 year run with these guys, and they said, all right, we'll take a flyer. Maybe we'll luck into a Giannis kind of thing. When they picked Giannis, nobody thought, hey, here comes, top 75 player or whatever. So they say, hey, this guy is 18 years old, like, the physical attributes you described, let's take a shot. And, what kind of should have tipped, not that they should have seen it, but he, on his college team at Florida State, he was by far the most talented player, and he came off the bench. So that should give you a little tip that that's who he is. And that's who he is.
Yeah.
He's a good six-man kind of guy. Like you said, come in, make a couple of shots, but he's not a highly active, athletic kind of player. He'll play a little bit of, both sides of the ball, can defend a little, can score a little, but he's not aggressive. He doesn't want the ball. He doesn't want to be the star. He doesn't want to make plays. I think he's been exactly what he's always been, but I think because the team overdrafted him and then paid him a lot, people say, well, you make a lot of money, you better be better. And he's saying, well, when am I going to turn down the money? So I don't blame him. I think he's delivered exactly what he always looked like he was going to be. And I think the perception is wrong in the public about him.
Sam Smith, thank you so much for joining us. Go check out all of his work at Bulls.com, where he is a writer covering the Bulls, also author of The Jordan Rule. Sam, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the season, but maybe not tonight. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, take care.
That was Sam Smith, who covers the Bulls for Bulls.com. When we return, there is something he said about Patrick Williams that reminded me of the 4th overall pick that wears the purple and black. And I'll tell you what it is on the other side, as well as moral victories. We good with them this season? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap GoodRx. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. Thanks to Sam Smith. We've had Sam on a couple times. He always cracks me up.
I think we had him on like right after the Fox Levine trade happened too.
Yeah.
I think he was on the day Kevin Huerter went off for 25, which I'm scared that's going to happen tonight.
Wow, Kyle. Don't. But it just got real.
When it breaks.
I said don't. Drew Timme traded to... There's only 2 places that could eventually burn the Kings. Sorry.
I thought he was going to Stockton.
No, I wish.
God, Dave would be so mad.
Can you guess where it is that he's going? In my mind, there's only 2 places that if he goes to these 2 places and burns the Kings, it hurts.
So, sorry, this is NBA or G League?
It's G League.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It's G League.
San Antonio Spurs.
No, but I understand why you said that.
So this is not one of them.
Not in my mind.
Okay. Lakers.
The South Bay Lakers.
Him and Bronny.
Drew Timme. Whoa. Bronny's. He got 20 minutes against the Blazers.
Sorry, him and the Lakers undrafted rookie.
Yeah, him and somebody that should be playing over Bronny. Drew Timme to the South Bay Lakers.
I mean, look, we complain about this.
Would he be getting time right now?
On the Lakers? Yeah.
Stop down on the Kings.
Oh, on the Kings? No.
Are we sure?
Maxime Reynaud hasn't played since the first game.
Who's better?
I hope Maxime is better.
I don't know, man.
Than Drew Timme, who was on the Stockton Kings?
I don't know.
God, that's rough. Anyways.
Who's better, Drew Timme or Dario Saric?
Oh, that's a great one. Drew Timme. I'm going to go Drew Timme. I mean, Brian Blackburn said he was unplayable in the NBA. At least Drew Timme was on the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah. All right. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, we keep complaining about it's not going to be funnier than that, but you know how we keep complaining about the Stockton Kings being all 30-year-olds? Mm-hmm. Like Drew Timme, we've joked, he played college basketball for 20 years. So spiritually, Drew Timme is 38. It'd be perfect if he
Bring
didn't.
Him back.
Yeah, Stockton King. Jake Elmore's back. Terrence Davis is down there.
How old do you think Drew Timme is?
Drew Timme is 48 years old.
How old do you really think he is?
I'm saying it has to start with a 3. I know it doesn't, but it has to start with a 3.
He's 25.
See, he'd be a young king.
You know what else, Kyle? You know what else since we're already here? Kyle, let me tell you this much. He's 25 and he's 6'10".
Sorry, I'm confused. So is he 25 years old or he played at Gonzaga for 25 years?
He was a senior in 2023, which would have made him 23. So he's 25 years old and he is 6'10", which is taller than basically anybody that the Kings give legitimate time to besides Domantas Sabonis.
God, that is so sad. I mean, look, I'm just looking at this box score now. And I know they were playing a smaller team, and they're also playing a small-ish team tonight in the Bulls.
Right.
So they can get away with the same lineup, but I do think it's funny that yesterday they just decided, nope, we are just going all guards. They ran the 9-guard lineup that we joked about because it was Levine, DeRozan, Sabonis, Schroeder, Westbrook. The only players that came in off the bench were Monk, 25 minutes, Ellis, 27 minutes, Eubanks, the minutes that Sabonis didn't play. So, Eubanks was just alternating with Sabonis, and Devin Carter. So they literally ran the all-guard line. They played 7 guards out of their 9-man rotation yesterday.
What I wanted to say, when I heard Sam talking about Patrick Williams and how he was saying how he's just, athletically, he's not this, and he probably should be a 6th man, and then they gave him that money, and I think he just is who he was at Florida State, and there's no reason he should have been drafted that high. When I heard Sam talking and how he doesn't want to be the guy, and he's not very aggressive, doesn't really want the ball, when I heard Sam talking about Patrick Williams, an alert went off in my head because I thought, this is how people talk about Keegan Murray. And 2 4th-round picks, I know it's not all about comparing, but to compare those two, and I know Keegan's going to make more than Patrick Williams, but to hear him talk about Patrick Williams and in my mind think, this is how people talk about Keegan Murray, and then compare how good both of these guys are. I mean, and I know I might be not objective anymore because I sat down with Keon's pops and we had a great conversation. Go check that out on YouTube or with Keegan's pops. And
Keon, can we get Keon's dad?
I would love that next. So I know that I had that conversation, but yeah, how fans, and I know Keegan kind of did it to himself just with how well he played his rookie season. But yeah, man, he's getting paid a good bit of cash, but the idea that Keegan isn't this, isn't that, there's still levels to this. Sam Smith thinks that Patrick Williams should be coming off the bench.
Well, the other part of it, too, is I just pulled up Patrick Williams' nerd stats rankings just to cross-reference it. For all the people who complain about Keegan Murray not being able to play offense, buddy, let me introduce you to Patrick Williams. Yeah. Because, so basically the rankings, they'll give you a number, but just to give you a gauge, they'll do like colors. So like blue is great, red is bad. Mm-hmm. Patrick Williams is bright red every season. Just awful just one of the worst offensive players in the league. And even his best defensive season was Keegan last year. So his best season was a decent defensive season for Keegan.
Now look, you know, Keegan next season, he's making 24, then 26, then 27.9, then 29.9, then 31.8. So these conversations, they're only lasting now because Keegan wasn't making that. I will not be comparing Keegan to Patrick Williams next season because he will be making way more than Patrick Williams. So I won't be comparing him to him that way. But right now, the way people talk about Keegan, when Keegan starts getting paid, we will talk about him different. It's the same as Brock Purdy. It's the same as all these guys when they get cashed out.
You know how we played the numbers on the board sound yesterday and them talking about the rookie scale extensions? Mm-hmm. I can't remember if it was Beecham or one of the other guys said, like, this one's a 5 while the others are an 8 or a 9.
Right.
The Patrick Williams one was a 5. Like, they didn't overpay, but the idea of giving Patrick Williams a 5-year contract coming off of, in fairness, his best season of his career, but then seeing no growth afterwards made that contract feel like it was a 4 or a 5. If we see growth from Keegan, then I don't think it'll feel like a 4 or a 5, and I think we're all expecting it to be the case as long as they move on from some of these guards that are all playing at the same time.
Someone we did not expect has been added to the injury report. We will tell you who it is as we kick off the 1 o'clock hour. Don't move. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Need cash fast? Tap into the value of your home with a home equity line of credit from Valley Strong Credit Union. Whether it's for home improvements, debt consolidation, or that dream vacation, you can get your cash offer in minutes. That's right, just minutes to unlock the power of your home's equity with no hard credit pull to see how much cash you can get. No stress, no waiting, just smart local banking that puts you first. Grow your possibilities with Valley Strong Credit Union. Visit valleystrong.com to get started today.
Hey there, Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Time for our weekly travel tip, and with it, here's Mark Hoffman.
We've talked before about how airlines make money these days. It has little to do with the fare you pay and more to do with the seat assignment you buy, the bag you check, and the credit card you use with their name on it. Fees for assigned seats are, of course, a total ripoff, but they're part of travel now, and there are a few times you may want to consider paying a ransom to purchase a seat. 1. If you're traveling with friends or family members, you want to visit on the flight, and you can't do that if you're in 22E and the rest of the clan is in row 9. 2. When you want to work during the flight, you'll probably want an extra legroom seat. 3. If you're a woman, few women traveling alone want to be stuck in a middle seat between two men, especially large men. 4, when you have a tight connection. 5, when you want to sleep on the plane. 5 solid reasons to pay for an upgraded coach seat.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
The winter service event is on at Maida Subaru Sacramento. Now is the time to get your Subaru road ready for the winter weather ahead with exceptional savings on tires, brakes, wiper plates, and more. Maida Subaru offers the largest Subaru service facility in the Sacramento area. Factory-trained technicians, express service, and the all-new cafe now open inside the dealership. Don't miss this chance to get everything you need to get your Subaru winter ready at the Maida Subaru Winter Service Event. See all the service specials at maidasubaru.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
One more hour with you. How you feeling about your Sacramento Kings? And the Niners made a move for a pass rusher, former second-round pick. And, you know, of course, there's Niners fans and media out there saying the Niners might have a guy. I mean, literally, they got edge Keon White and a 7th-round pick to the Niners for a 6th-round pick. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it can't hurt. He did in 2024. He did have the most. He did have the most sacks on the Patriots. The Patriots were bad, but that was 5 sacks. But he did have the most.
So anytime you see one of these trades of 6th round and 7th round swaps, what that is we want this guy, but we're not going to be able to claim him off waivers. So we're going to trade for this guy because we can't. We won't win waiver priority if he gets cut, which is exactly what the Patriots were going to do. And then they ended up getting the offer from the Niners. So
they did a couple of those moves. They got a couple swaps yesterday.
Yeah,
the Patriots did.
I think he's going to be on the active roster, but probably not playing a ton for the Niners.
There you go. So we will break down all that. I was going to say prop talk. There was a hot prop talk topic last night that I shared with Kyle during the break.
A prop topic,
if you will. And James Harden taking on the Warriors yesterday, as it felt like I was watching it on the original Nintendo with how glitchy everything was on Peacock, of course. And I literally searched on social media because I know some of you said, Alan, I haven't had any issues with Peacock. Well, everybody was talking about the glitchiness. So watching Clippers Warriors yesterday, James Harden was set at 20.5, and this is kind of a SVP Scott Van Pelt Bad Beats mini segment. James Harden was set at 20.5. Okay, 20.5 points. James Harden finished the first half with 20. James Harden did not score another basket all game. And it was not a blowout at halftime. But James Harden did not hit his number of 20.5. And, whether you were part of that game yesterday or not. But, yeah, people who were a part of it were very upset. And call in the books. Call in the books. Vegas made the call. I don't know how that's possible, Kyle, because it was a close game. It wasn't a blowout at halftime. You don't shut down your guys for a whole. And I think off the top of my head, I think they played the whole game. They didn't. The Warriors blew them out towards the end, but James Harden played 32 minutes.
Yeah. The Clippers just scored 30 points in the second half. The Kings had that one game where they scored 29.5, and we were like, oh my God, this thing is so incredibly cooked.
Yeah.
The Clippers scored 30 points in the second half against the Warriors.
Yep.
That is just unbelievable. I think no one's talking about it because that game started at 8 p.m. Like, no one stayed up to watch the end of that Clippers and Warriors game except Allen, who doesn't sleep because he has 2 small children.
And I almost turned it off just because of the glitchiness was ticking me off.
Yeah, I get that they're doing the back-to-back, but I'm not excited about these 5 Kings games this year that are going to start at 8 p.m. local time.
By the way, the news that we wanted to share with you, Keon Ellis is questionable with left shoulder soreness, okay? And Zach Collins is out for the Bulls. Of course, as we mentioned with Sam Smith, Kobe White is still out with that calf, and they don't even know when he's returning. But yeah, Keon Ellis is questionable with left shoulder soreness. We'll see what happens there. I mean, they are fairly equipped to handle that. If they need more they got Russell Westbrook. They got more defense. If they want to go to Devin Carter, they've gotten him going this season. They've given him some minutes. So I don't you're already missing Keegan. I get it. And you're missing Neek. You're missing 2 really good defenders, and you could be missing another in Keon. But I still think you should. We'll take a look at the line, but I still feel like you should win this game.
Well, I mean, you kind of need to win this game given how daunting the schedule is down the line. They kind of need this one. Man, if Keon doesn't play, I don't know how they're going to make these rotations mix and match because they've got, like we said, they ran.
Devin. It's Devin is Keon.
I mean, they ran 7 guards out of their 9-man rotation yesterday. It was just Sabonis and Eubanks. So they've decided no Cardwell, no Isaac Jones, no Maxime Reynaud, no Dario Saric. None of those guys can give you any minutes.
Too tall.
Yeah, apparently they've decided. Maxime hasn't played since the first game of the season. Cardwell only gets 50 games on the 2-way contract. Saric, I guess, is unplayable. Isaac Jones, they've decided, is unplayable. That he hasn't played since the 14 minutes against the Jazz.
Yeah, the Isaac Jones thing is kind of crazy. I mean, I know last night they have all those kind of 3-and-D different type of players than Isaac, but I think Isaac Jones should be able to, if he's going to be in this league, he should be able to guard somebody on the Thunder last night, right?
I mean, it's what Isaac told us at Media Day, is that shooting's going to get him time on this team, which apparently now we don't need shooting anymore. But
with Russ shooting like this, but I'm looking here, Kyle. Yeah, last night was a weird one. You have to guard Aaron. You have to be able to. If Isaac is going to play in this league, he has to be able to guard. He could have guarded Lou Dort. He could have guarded Lou Dort, but Lou Dort wouldn't have guarded him.
No, Lou Dort would have guarded DeRozan.
But you got to guard Aaron Wiggins. Can you guard Aaron Wiggins? And I think it would have been tough.
Yeah, but that's the problem with playing Isaac with any of these lineups is that DeRozan, we have to hide him on defense.
Yes.
Levine can give effort, but is not a good defender. So you cannot afford to have more guys that can't play defense on the floor.
I don't think Isaac is a liability on defense, though. I think it's just matchup based.
I guess, but they didn't play him very much against the Jazz either. He started, but he only played 14 minutes.
I would disagree. I would disagree with the fact that they didn't. I don't think they played him enough.
Okay, yeah. Then Isaac's your guy again. Not against the Bulls because the Bulls have.
Yeah, I don't think you need him tonight.
Yeah, what's Patrick Williams gonna do, huh?
We better be careful.
I mean,
we already got Herter on a burner. He's coming for blood. We don't need Patrick Williams. This is what we came to see when they drafted him. With the 4th overall pick, Bob.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Patrick Williams, yeah, we can live with DeRozan guarding Patrick Williams.
Okay. Look, let the record show this is not me. This is not me.
But
all right.
They've got the Bucks next. I mean, what are they going to do against the Bucks?
Bucks. That last game when they went to Milwaukee off that 7 game, and nobody cared because they had just won 7 straight, but they got smacked up and down the court expeditiously, as T.I. would say, immediately. They did not stand a chance against them. The Bucks play so well. That one game they had 2 years ago where Malik missed those free throws and they got Dame timed, they get owned in Milwaukee. Absolutely owned.
Yeah, I mean,
we ain't talking about that now. That's why. Just beat the Bulls. How about that?
Just
beat the Bulls.
Beat the Bulls and we'll be happy situation. But they've got Milwaukee on Saturday. I mean, you're talking about the matchup thing. We'll just do it real quick. Milwaukee on Saturday, the Nuggies on Monday, which that is the team that we said you cannot get away with DeRozan playing the 4. Although maybe Westbrook is going to be so motivated by rage that he's going to guard Aaron Gordon or do what the Brodies say and guard Jokic.
Yes. I don't know. He might be on another level in that game, man.
Maybe, which, again, that could be good or that could be bad. Lord knows it could go either direction with Russ. But
Aaron Gordon did shout him out, though, so it wouldn't be Aaron Gordon.
Yeah. I mean, but he's got to guard somebody. Again, either they're going to play Isaac or...
Nope, can't do that.
Okay, so the Bucks, who's going to guard, not Giannis, but who's going to guard Miles Turner? Or Kuzma?
All right, well, okay.
Kuzma, we can get away.
I mean, Kuzma guard himself, okay?
Who's going to guard Miles Turner? Nuggets, who's going to guard Aaron Gordon or Cam Johnson?
I think Sabonis will guard Miles Turner, and I think
who's going to guard Giannis?
I think they just pray.
No, Sabonis is guarding Giannis. I promise you, Sabonis is guarding Giannis.
I think they just pray, man.
No, Sabonis is good. I guarantee you, Sabonis is going to guard
Can you
Giannis.
imagine how much the Kings would get clowned if Russell Westbrook, they matched up and Russell Westbrook was the guy for Giannis?
Please don't. Please don't make me think
I would just say you have to put Isaac Jones out there. Just because.
Anyway, just to finish the point I was making, if we just keep this going, yes, you can get away with it against the Bulls, but Bucks, got to have someone guard Miles Turner. Nuggets, got to have someone guard Aaron Gordon. They do double bigs. Warriors, Kuminga's starting now for the Warriors, so who's guarding Kuminga? Is it going to be Russ? Who's guarding Jonathan Kuminga?
He's going to go off. He's going off. By the way, Kyle and I, we were teasing, and we'll probably wait for Monday. We are introducing a new segment that Kyle is with collab, but Kyle has worked on the ins and outs of our banned list. You know who's banned right now, Kyle, when the Warriors are playing like this? It's Steph. Steph had 19 last night. They won easily against the Clippers. This is how it was at the beginning of the season when DeAnthony Melton was balling out. You got to stay away. They don't need Steph to do too much. And I would say subconsciously, they don't want Steph to do too much. Maybe in a primetime game and not a peacock glitchy primetime game, you got to stay away from Steph right now.
You know, the Tuesday ones you can watch on NBC. You don't have to do it on Peacock.
I don't know that I had it on NBC.
No, I'm saying you could have. You chose to.
I don't know if I saw that. I didn't see it in the upcoming.
No, the Tuesday ones are on NBC.
Let me check again.
Monday
it was glitched out.
Monday's Peacock exclusive. Tuesday, you can watch that on NBC. But anyways, your point is saying that maybe in those situations,
I just think Steph enough. Yeah, I just think Steph enough. When they're rolling like this. That whole team, you just don't know. It could be a buddy night. Podziemski had 23 a couple nights ago. When they start doing that strength and numbers stuff, I know you think, hey, Steph he's sitting at like 23 and a half. Oh my goodness, that's an easy one. They just don't need it. They don't need it.
I mean, I know Al Horford's cooked at this point, but they're starting Kuminga now. It's Kuminga and Jimmy and Pajemski and
Draymond, of course.
Anyways, so then they play the Thunder again. If our boy, the Big Oxtail, is back, who do we think's guarding the Big Oxtail?
Oxtails.
Well, according to Russ fan club, Russ.
Yeah, so again, like Timberwolves, who's guarding Julius Randle?
Yeah, it's the beefy ones. They worry me. It's the Aaron Gordons and the Julius Randles, because that was a problem.
Kuminga.
Yeah, that was a problem last season, and now with no Keegan, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much
For
every
those
game.
matchups. I'm not saying that they'll lose the games because everybody's calling me a Debbie Downer. I'm not saying they'll lose the games, but that matchup they will probably lose.
Yeah, I'm just counting here. The next 8 games after the Bulls, you've got either a 7-footer at the 4 or lanky. I'm sorry, you've got either double bigs or 7-footers at the 4 in every game coming up after this one. So after this, do they keep rolling with Russ in the starting lineup? Do they keep rolling with Russ and Schroeder in the starting lineup? I don't know if they can afford to do that defensively.
Oh, Kyle, we were just talking about this player, two of these players for the Orlando Magic. We have a really good Orlando Magic trade scenario. That's tomorrow. So we're gonna, tease it now. We have exercised our 3rd-year team option on forward Tristan da Silva, as well as our 4th-year team option on guard Anthony Black. Both players are now signed through the 2026-2027 season.
Huh, didn't they also have another rookie/sophomore eligible for an extension?
You talking about Jet?
Yeah, it would be Jet. They said no thank you to Jet's 4th-year option.
Yeah, that means he's going to be, I think unrestricted at the end of the season?
Yeah, but it's the Jake LaRavia situation where, the incoming team can only sign him for a certain amount of money.
So that just came out, and we are having a matchup conversation with the Bulls. The Bulls are 3-0. The Bulls have been rolling, okay? Who have they beat? Well, Allen, who did they beat on their road to 3-0? Well, they beat the upstart Pistons with Cade Cunningham. They beat the Magic. They beat 2 teams that were picked to at least get through the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs in the Pistons and the Magic. And then they beat the 3 sexiest Eastern Conference teams to start the season in the Atlanta Hawks to be 3rd. So they beat the Pistons, the Magic, and the Hawks to start the season. We cannot play around with this Bulls team. And it's on the road. I think if anything, maybe the Bulls, I know there's a couple, we could do the hierarchy of revenge games. So you got DeMar, Zach, Herter.
There's got to be someone
There's
else.
definitely somebody else.
Yeah.
Herter, where does that all go?
Yeah, I guess that might be it for now.
I think the Herter revenge is over because I believe the Herter revenge is more so over because, and I know he balled out towards the end of the season, but I think he already used his revenge game. And, Mike Brown being in the building at some point when, the moves ended up happening. I think that Herter has used his. I would probably prioritize, I don't know. Maybe I think Zach being on a tear and he was kind of quiet. What do you have? 23 last night. Honestly, it's probably DeRozan because he hasn't had his explosion. Has he had a 30-point game yet? I don't think so.
I think 29, but not 30.
I think DeRozan is number 1 on the revenge game list tonight.
I think number 1 is one that we just keep forgetting about, and that is, of course, Doug McDermott revenge game.
When is he going to play?
When they blow out a team or get blown out. That is the thing. Every game's been close.
Yeah, we're having too much fun. It's been too entertaining to play Doug.
Yeah, Doug will play when they are down 20 and just need 3-point shooting off the bench. He'll play when they're either down 20 or up 20.
I would say, and we obviously will have the dog segment, but I would keep an eye on Devin Carter if Keon can't go. Obviously, that's the clear flip there, but I would say I would keep an eye on Devin Carter to play well.
All right, so let's go back to let's say Keon's going to play tonight.
Mm-hmm.
If we go back, I don't think it matters either way, but if we go back to this list, we mentioned Dylan Cardwell, Isaac Jones, Maxime Reynaud, Dario Saric, DNPs.
Crazy.
If I gave you over under 1.5 of those players play tonight. What would you say? Are we going 2? How many of those 4 do you think will see the floor at any point tonight?
Yeah, I think after a night like last night, and it's not that they got played off the floor because they weren't big enough, but I think it was very specific to those, like I said, the tall 3-and-D players that the Thunder have. I think 2 of these guys play tonight, Kyle. I think 2 of these guys. I think Dylan. I don't know. I don't know about Doug or honestly Dario or Maxime, but I think I think Dylan and Isaac play tonight.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think that's going to happen. I'm looking here, Kyle, just from a matchup standpoint. You have Matas Buzelis, Isaac Okoro, Nikola Vucevic. Man, should have been a King, Trey Jones, and Josh Giddey. I wonder are they running Trey Jones at the 2? What a balanced score. And I always make fun of the all starters were in double figures, but Mata against the Hawks, Hawks are supposed to be dogs defensively. Let's see what Nickeil Alexander-Walker did just for fun. 17 points in 30 minutes. Who is that? He got that new money.
Nickeil?
He got that new money.
Well, here's the thing. He's now backing up Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels is broke. When it was playing with Ant, they're like, don't shoot. Now they're like, we need you to shoot.
Dyson Daniels, 34 minutes, 2 points.
Yeah, that dude is broke.
Matas, 16 points. Isaac Okoro, 10 points. Vucevic, 17 and 17 rebounds. 17 and 17. Trey Jones, 9 assists, 14 points, 7 rebounds. Josh Giddey, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 18 points. Patrick Williams, 12 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Ayo Dosunmu, 21 points. Kevin Huerter, 15 points. They balled out against the Hawks. That is incredibly impressive.
Oh, it's not just against the Hawks, Allen. I just pulled up the Bulls stats from this year. Did you know the Bulls have 6 different players that are averaging over 13 points per game this year? For reference, the Kings have 4.
You know what they're doing?
What are they doing?
They're doing the Jazz thing. Remember the Jazz thing a couple years ago? This is a Jazz thing.
They're going to win a bunch early, and it's going to nuke their chances of getting a top pick?
I don't know if it'll nuke it or not, but they're doing the Jazz thing. This is their 2-week Jeremy Lin run. The problem is they're playing the Kings during their 2-week Jeremy Lin run.
Well, I think this happens every year. We don't talk about it. Like, I think the year the Grizzlies got Ja, they started like 10-2. And they ended up getting like the 2 pick in the draft. Like, I think this kind of happens almost every year.
You have to show the basketball gods that you are trying for a month.
Sort of. I mean, look, here's the leading scorers on the Bulls right now. Sam Smith mentioned it earlier. Vucevic is at 20 points per game, which, by the way, Vucevic might have the best efficient shooting percentage in the league right now. He's at like 80% efficient field goal. But anyways, Vucevic is at 20. Giddey's at 19. Dosunmu's at 17. Kevin Huerter's at 14. Matas is at 13.5. Trey Jones is at 13. That's your 6-man. And honestly, the Kings 6-man matches up. If we're taking the starters right now and Malik Monk as their 6, that 6 kind of matches up nicely with the Bulls 6.
Yeah, well, it's funny because Ayo played 27. Kevin Huerter played 20. This is just very, very balanced. Ayo played 27. Kevin Huerter played 21. Patrick Williams played 22, all coming off the bench. And then you had the starters. Trey Jones started, and he played 31 minutes. Kyle, I think this is going to be another – I think this game will actually be entertaining, and mostly because that's with the – whether the Kings win or not, I think this will be actually entertaining and less annoying as we were going back and forth with that idea that these games, the 1-3 record, has been entertaining. I'm just ready to watch Matas, though.
This is all about Matas for you.
This is – and the Kings couldn't get him. He got taken too early, right?
Yes, he was the 12th. Well, I mean, the Kings had, Deke Clifford? Or, I'm sorry, no.
This is before. This is 2024.
So he was 11.
Yeah, Kings took Devin at 13.
Sorry. Asenge was 12. Matas was 11.
No.
Asenge last year.
Okay.
Yeah, different years. Sorry.
So they had 2 picks.
No.
The Bulls did.
Different years. I thought you were talking about Asenge. Matas.
No. Asenge not even playing.
11. Matas was the 11th pick in 2024.
Yeah. So close to the Kings.
Yeah, you wanted him so bad. See, but now here's the thing. You were originally the Tejan Salon guy, but now you've just pivoted to Matas because Matas has a chance of being good.
6'8". By the way, keep an eye on Matas. That dude I saw at Summer League. That dude was talking so much trash to Devin Carter from the bench because he didn't even play in that game. I tried to get it on my phone about 4 different times, and I could not capture it. Keep an eye on Matas. That dude likes to talk trash.
Well, right now he's 2 for 12 from 3. So do we want to have DeRozan guard him?
By the way, Kyle is doing this thing where he's completely jinxing everyone. He's completely jinxing the Kings. He says, don't guard Patrick Williams.
No.
Don't guard Matas Buzelis.
It's not true. I'm saying if Patrick Williams wants to shoot a 3, let Patrick Williams shoot a 3.
I do not jinx the Kings. I would never do that. I'm too, that the baseball blood runs deep. I don't step on lines. I don't try to jinx people.
I mean, how much worse can it be? Kevin Huerter already came into your own building and dropped 27 in a win.
It's a shooter's gym. All right, give it a rest. It's a shooter's gym.
Can it get any worse than that?
It's a shooter's gym. By the way, Keegan obviously still out. Nick Clifford out. Keon questionable. Daquan Plowden would have been a huge day for him. Unavailable with the Stockton Kings. Kobe White out. And Zach Collins out for the Bulls. So the Bulls, the Bulls will be healthier than the Kings. I mean, Kobe White's a big one, but that kind of cancels itself out with Keegan and Zach Collins. I mean, you're back up big. If Keon can't play, this is why these games are so important because you're already dealing with Keegan and Nick out, but you got to play the Lakers with no LeBron and Luka, and you got to play the Suns. We know they're the Suns, number one, and number two, no Jalen Green, and you got to play the Thunder with no Jalen Williams, and of course, Chet. But the Thunder game to me, I think throughout the course of this show, it's whatever, right? Because I just expected that to be the case. The Suns game is the one I think we've landed on, Kyle. That's the one that could burn you. Even the Austin Reeves, Austin Reeves is a good player, right? You should have made some adjustments, but the one that was the most egregious by far is the Suns game.
That's the one that you tricked off, yeah. I mean, again, Austin Reeves just plugged into the Luka role and looked kind of like Luka. That just tells me your defense was trash. But, yeah, the Suns one is your offense looked excellent. You had no business blowing that 20-point lead against a team that shouldn't be good enough to make 20-point comebacks. Yeah, the Suns one is the one that, say they win tonight, which I'm nervous that we're going to play Guess the Spread next segment, and they're going to be underdogs.
See, but we disagree because I like when the Kings are underdogs. I think they're worse when they're favorites.
Oh, I'm not even saying about this one game. It's just more so going to be an indictment of where the franchise is at. If you imported the Bulls and are worse than the Bulls, that's going to make me feel...
It's just because it's the West.
That's not on point spread.
Who's better right now? Vucevic or Sabonis? How bad is the
Sabonis.
PR? Okay, I got to check now.
I mean,
I have to check each game.
I thought you just said we're not going to do the thing like the Bulls. The Bulls are doing the Jazz thing. We know the Bulls aren't good, even though they're 3-0.
I just asked a question about Vucevic and Sabonis.
But we're going to do the Vucevic is great now, even though the Bulls tried to give him away.
No, I'm asking. They didn't try to give him away. I'm just asking a question.
Okay. Sabonis.
Hartenstein or Sabonis?
Don't make me answer that.
Who's the coward now?
I mean, they're just both doing push shots all game. It's just, here's my answer. Just have them line up.
Hartenstein doesn't have a hybrid 3.
No.
A hybrid quick trigger 3.
No, here's how we'll answer that. Just line up and have them each take 20 push shots. Whoever makes the most is who I'll take.
On the other side, we get into the move that the Niners made. We will guess the spread and get into a little bit of prop talk. And we got some texts to get through. How you feeling about the Kings heading into Chi-Town? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
This 49ers Red Zone Report is being brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Here's the snap to Jones, looking over the middle, lofts it into the end zone. George Kittle reaching back with one hand. Two defenders on top of him. George Kittle celebrates National Tight End Day. Play fake, Jones boots, throws on the run, reaching up, Tonjes makes the catch at the goal line. Touchdown, 49ers.
National Tight End Day, and that was the QB choice right there.
Ready, set, win big. When the 49ers win, you score. With 49% off any large pizza, only at Mountain Mike's Pizza. Celebrate every game day with your favorites from our legendary crispy, curly pepperoni, bold sauced up wings, garlic butter drenched sides, and gooey sweet desserts, all hot, fresh, and built for a Niners victory. Download the Mountain Mike's app, join Mountain Rewards, and turn every Niners win into a pizza party. Let's go Niners. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
The keys are in your hand with Sky River Casino's $200,000 table games exclusive BMW giveaway. Earn entries daily with a qualifying hand on any table game. Plus, get double entries every Monday and Tuesday. Prizes are awarded every Friday with a guaranteed 2026 BMW 530i winner on November 28th and December 26th. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or over.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the place where a handshake still means something. And when it comes to the car buying experience, it's not easy to find that kind of integrity nowadays. And right now, it's the Drive into Fall event, where they have the 2025 Grand Cherokee L for 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus $7,000 off MSRP. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. They have similar savings on every new vehicle. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, they're easy to find right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And for the guaranteed lowest price, visit them online at sacsuperstore.com. On approved credit through Stellantis Financial for well-qualified borrowers. 1401 per thousand finance. Residency restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Ends 11/3/25.
As the temperatures drop, keep your home cozy and your family safe with Maverick Electric Heating and Air, your local family-owned team you can trust. They care about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. This fall, schedule your seasonal tune-up to make sure your system is ready before the cold sets in. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com or call Maverick Electric and let their family take care of yours this season.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Whitey Gleason will join us on the other side. We're about to get into some prop talk. Reviewing prop talk from yesterday, Kyle, Dennis Schroeder decided to not shoot. So I did not hit. Dennis Schroeder was at 11.5. I believe Dennis Schroeder ended with 8. That's a rough go for me.
But he smoked that one layup. He would have gotten close.
They all did. Can we get a stat on missed layups, please? Just MB. Missed bunnies.
I mean, there were at least 2 that immediately led to Thunder threes.
At the beginning of the game, or towards the beginning of the game, Russ had that really slick pass to Domas. Had a little bit of mustard on it, but Domas smoked that layup. Do you remember that at the beginning of the game?
I kind of do, yes.
And Russ is thinking, come on, man. I left my yacht for this. I left my yacht for you to smoke my assists and my bunnies.
That should be just the slogan for the Kings season. 2026 Kings. I left my yacht for this.
Yeah. I left my yacht for this. And I mean, Westbrook fans, they want him out of there. They want him out of there.
Well, I mean, Allen, when you can guard 1 through 5, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Why are you wasting your time in Sacramento? All right. Before we get to prop talk, wanted to let you know, not only did the Niners add edge rusher Keon White and a 7th-round pick. They gave up a 6th-round pick. In 2024, White led the Patriots with 5 sacks, 45 pressures, and a pass rush grade of 76.7. Obviously, the Patriots weren't great, but they do feel like they might be able to find something. And I don't know, Kyle, not to bring up the Kings again, but if this is remember when they made that deal with the Bulls and it was all to get Sasha Vezenkov out the paint or whatever it was, the move before the move, but then the move before the move never actually became a move. So I don't know if this is the trade before the trade for the Niners to, hey, we just got this guy, but now we're gonna make this big move eventually. So some people are excited about it. Obviously, we don't know what it's gonna look like, and that's the move that the Niners recently did make.
God, that's a hilarious stat. Read back the thing about him on the Patriots. Led the team in sacks with how many?
5.
Led the team in sacks with 5. Mm-hmm. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks against the Patriots on Sunday. Myles Garrett had the same number of sacks in one game against the Patriots as the Patriots' leading sack man last year.
Yeah, he was a 2nd-round pick in the 2023 draft, so the Niners looking for some is that found money? Is that found money if it's somebody that it's kind of a second draft situation? Are those two different things? Found money versus second draft?
I don't know. See, here's the thing. I think it's different, second draft versus found money, because found money's like the undrafted guys.
Yeah.
So this is more of a second draft. But I will say, a 2nd-round pick by Bill Belichick probably isn't a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah.
We have to account for the fact that was a Belichick
it's
draft
like a 3rd-round pick from the Niners. It's all counted the same way.
I don't know. Belichick took a guard in the 1st round that the Rams were making fun of him, saying, we thought we were going to get him in the 4th round.
Yeah.
So Belichick was reaching on a lot of people at the end.
This is from Jeremy Fowler. Jeremy Fowler believes the Niners is back again. Now, I don't know how his ribs are doing, but the conversations are back again. Jeremy Fowler says, much is made of Jacoby Myers' trade prospects out of Las Vegas, but let's not forget about Juwan Jennings, who also asked for a trade in the offseason over the lack of a new deal. Despite nearly 1,000 yards in 2024, Jennings is off to a slower start this season, ranking 5th on the 49ers in receiving with 212 yards. Both sides could use a fresh start. All right, Kyle, let's try to do it. Guessing the other 4. I think it's got to be fairly obvious. I'm going to say Christian McCaffrey, of course. Christian McCaffrey, Kendrick Bourne.
This is it, receiving yards, you're
receiving
saying.
Yards. Christian McCaffrey, Kendrick Bourne.
It's Ricky.
I was going to say, is it Ricky?
It's
Did he do
be.
enough
It's
before he got injured?
Ricky.
Ricky, and then he's 5th. Who is the 4th? It can't be Tonjes.
No, I don't think it's Tonjes. We got to be forgetting someone. Is Kittle? No, I don't think it can be Kittle.
Is it DeMarcus?
Oh gosh, this is tough.
It ain't Sky Moore. Is it DeMarcus Robinson?
So we know it's Pearsall.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's
McCaffrey. We know it's Kendrick Bourne. And it says according to Jeremy Fowler, he's 5th. So
I think it might be Tonjes.
It's either Tonjes or DeMarcus, because DeMarcus had some long catches.
All right, I'm gonna go Tonjes. You're gonna go DeMarcus.
Yeah.
Let's see. So receiving yards leaders for the 49ers this season, we have 559 Christian McCaffrey.
That's insane.
I saw the list. This was before last week, but he was like 8th in the league in receiving yards going into last week. McCaffrey, Kendrick Bourne at 429, Ricky Pearsall at 327, Jake Tonjes 226.
Wow. Yeah, you got to get him out of there.
Juwan Jennings 212. Actually, then Demarcus Robinson is 7th. Do you think you can guess who's 6th? At what is it? 114 receiving yards.
What? Not the other tight end, Farrell.
It is not Farrell. The one that doesn't catch. It is not him.
Is it not Juszczyk?
It's Juszczyk.
They love that.
113.
They love it.
Kyle Juszczyk has 13 catches for 114 yards.
They love it, man. They absolutely love it.
For reference, he has 13 catches. DeMarcus Robinson has 8. George Kittle has 8.
Crazy. But he did get a catch. They made sure he got that catch on tight end day.
Yep.
That was the easiest cheese all season long. George Kittle touchdown on tight end day. And then the next day, we said Travis Kelce will get in. You know, he didn't get to play on National Tight End Day, and he got in.
I'm glad you were annoyed by that, too. That they were like, well, he didn't play on National Tight End Day, but he scored a touchdown.
No, I told you they were going to do this and say that. It's a script.
They said it verbatim. Also, Dallas Goedert, 2 touchdowns. How about that?
Yeah, he did ball out. And did one of the 12 Steelers tight ends even score on tight end day?
I know
it wasn't Darnell Washington.
The Steelers.
Or my guy, Jonnu Smith.
Steelers didn't have a great game. Let's see. 25 points. Steelers. We got, nope, 1 for Roman Wilson, 1 for DK Metcalf, but none for the 8,000 tight ends on the Steelers.
All right, well, I told you all the script for tight end day. Can we tell you the script for tonight's games? It's time for Prop Talk.
Oh, we still got to guess the spread, too.
And we got to guess the spread. We will get to that. I'm just feeling, you know what? You know, we don't do this a lot on Prop Talk. Sometimes we will discuss how you feel about things, and we'll give you numbers, and we'll say what our confidence meter is. This is my lock of the day. And I'm going to look at Kyle right in his eyes. And I'm going to look at the camera right in your eyes. And this is the lock of the day. DeMar DeRozan sat at 19 yesterday. He had 21 against the Lakers. Before that, against the Jazz, he only had 7. He is yet to have a typical DeMar DeRozan coming out party game. He's going to have a revenge type of game today. Some younger guards, he can get up in the air, get to the free throw line. He was 5 of 6 from the free throw line, starting to figure out his free throw shooting. Give me DeMar DeRozan, 19.5. Lock of the day.
All right. I like the vision. I actually do think you're going to get that one because you mentioned it during the break when we were talking about this. Whoever's guarding him tonight, whether it's Matas, whether it's Dosunmu, whether it's Kevin Huerter at times, they're going to probably be fouling a little bit. So some free throws for whatever DeMar DeRozan's free throw number is. Let's take that.
Yes.
Kevin Huerter.
That's what you're going with.
No. Well, I don't know what it is, but I feel like we shouldn't take the same one. We joked yesterday that Westbrook points is calling to me like the Green Goblin mask, and it's gone up now. It went from 9.5 to 11.5, and I'm just looking at it like, I know he's going to try.
Get burned eventually.
I know he's going to try, but I'm going back to all reliable because everyone's ready to just write him off, and it's not that time. Domantas Sabonis.
That's a great call.
Points, rebounds, assists, 35.5 tonight. I think he can get the combo. Hasn't hit it all year, but they have to. They have to get him involved in the offense somehow, some way. So Sabonis, 35.5, the point, rebound, assist combo. Just all reliable, baby.
Yeah, I mean, he used to be Domantas Sabonis used to be 39-40. That's normally where his points, rebounds, assists.
Still the most absurd thing ever was when they had Jokic at 50. I was like, that's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know who else is crazy like that is Luka. They'll have Luka at like 52.5 points, rebounds, assists, and he'll get it in 3 quarters. All right, Kyle, we have a special request before we get to the guessing the spread. And maybe Whitey can hop in to guess the spread with us on the other side. Because we have a request. How could we forget on a day like today? How can the Debbie Downers, I won't throw you into this, Kyle, but Alan, the Debbie Downer, how can Alan, the Debbie Downer, forget to run the Tankathon? But Kimberly on the text line says, before you go, can you run it with praying hand emoji? Kimberly, thank you so much for being a part of the show. All right, Kyle, let's run that Tankathon. They're at 8 today, by the way, Kyle. They've dropped down with that loss. Oh, no.
fell down.
No. With the 9th pick, guess who got number 1? Give you one guess.
The San Antonio Spurs.
The Indiana Pacers. They're doing it right, baby.
I saw someone say they're going to get DeBansa and Halliburton.
I ran it again. Okay, Kimberly, I ran it again. It doesn't count for our average, but I ran it again. This would be the most Kings thing ever, actually. I ran it again, the most Kings thing ever, with the 4th pick in the NBA draft, right outside the 3. That's exactly what would happen to the Kings.
I don't know. Who's 1, 2, and 3? Maybe they'll mess it up.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's Indiana, number 1, again.
Jesus.
Atlanta, number 2, and the Wizards, number 3. They're just going to do their job.
Wizards might mess that up.
They're just going to do their job. All right. When we return, Whitey Gleason joins us. We're going to guess the spread with Whitey and find out what is coming up on the Drive, guys. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
No, it's not too soon to start holiday shopping. Ulta Beauty's early Black Friday event is happening now through November 22nd. Shop $10 beauty minis from brands like MAC and Too Faced. Take 30% off Lancome and Touchland fragrances and body mists. With new offers dropping every week, our associates can help you find the perfect gifts. Head into Ulta Beauty today to shop our early Black Friday event. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm a plumber and needed to get work in the door.
So business was going down the drain?
Yeah, I went to Staples. They printed yard signs, business cards, even flyers to leave at supply stores.
But at what cost, man?
Well, I saved $125 on my order, and now I'm booked solid. Boom!
Back at ya. For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online until 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Tempted to decorate for the holidays early? We like your style. Right now at Kohl's, save 20% on decor, hosting essentials, and more. Plus, get $10 off $50 spent. So go ahead, hang up that wreath, swap out those couch pillows for ones with snowflakes. And while others are panic shopping later, you'll already be cozied up feeling pretty great about these early Kohl's deals. Select styles, offers end November 2nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging.
They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best Honda dealer in Northern California. Score big with low payments, more for your trade, and a huge selection. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
on Sactown Sports.
First time Whitey Gleason will be playing Guess the Spread with us today.
Can I just say something first, Alan? I just wanted
this
to...
is never...
No, I just wanted to really echo something you said earlier, and I thought you said it so eloquently, and it was a great compliment you paid to the listeners. You talked about how when you do 3 hours, 4 hours, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Yesterday, it didn't feel like 4 hours.
That's because you did 30 minutes.
Well, that might have something to do.
You didn't do 4 hours.
Maybe that's it. Yeah,
you didn't do 4 hours, Whitey.
Yeah, that's you know what? Now that's probably it. Wow. But I agree
Whitey
with
hasn't done 4 hours all week.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Total, almost.
That's insane.
3.5.
Yeah, almost.
That's
so,
insane.
But I still agree with your overall point.
Okay, yeah, you understood from your point of view.
Yes, I did.
So it feels like when you do a 1 hour show, it feels like 15 minutes.
Feels like 10, 12 minutes.
There you go. That's
tops.
All shout out to the listeners. All right, Kyle, let's get to guessing the spread. Keon is questionable. Okay, and you have Kobe White out, Zach Collins out, Keegan Murray out.
Oh, I'm so worried the Kings are going to be underdogs.
I told Kyle I like when the Kings are underdogs. I think they play better. I don't like when they're favorites. I'm going to start it out. I don't know. A lot is on Keon. I think the assumption is that Keon will play. That's how Vegas probably does it, I think. I have no clue. I'm going to say the Kings by 3.5.
I would guess, because of everything going on and the Bulls are playing well, Bulls +2.
So the Bulls are underdogs, or the Bulls are +2 means they're underdogs, so -2.
-2, pardon me.
Yes.
Okay.
Bulls are favored by 2, you're saying?
Yes.
Got it. I'm going to say... I think it's 1.5 either way, but I'm going to say Bulls 1.5, and I'm so scared that that's going to be true.
What did I say? Kings 3.5?
3.5. All right, going to ESPN.com right now. Pulling up the spread. Oh, Jesus. Bulls 4.5.
So I was going to say 4.5, but that felt a little hardy to me. So I went with 3.5.
Allen, Bulls 4.5.
Yeah.
Bulls favored.
Yeah. That's even better.
Yeah.
That's even better. Lock it in and lock it up. Kings W. DeMar 30 points. This is easy money.
Whitey, they keep making this point on the morning show. It's more true. He literally is just Dave. He's just Dave, but younger.
Wait, so Whitey, you said 2.5.
I did.
Bulls. You said 1.5.
I said 1.5 Bulls.
4.5. That is, guys. DeMar, if you're listening, Zach, if you're listening, Doug, Russell Westbrook, his fan club that travels with him. This is
They love you, don't they?
They cannot stand me. They call me a bum every day. This is disrespectful stuff, guys. 4.5 to the Bulls?
They are, yeah. I love that you thought I said Kings 4.5. No,
Yeah.
the Bulls are 4.5-point favorites.
His brain just couldn't process.
You could
No, I
get tickets for less than $20 tonight.
I will fly out there right now.
You won't.
Guys, I will have an Italian beef sandwich tonight. Guys, this is it, guys.
You can have some pizza that's just soup.
This is disrespectful of the highest
Bulls are
order.
3-0, Allen.
Yeah, they did beat some good teams, too.
I mean, we don't know if any of those teams
Whitey,
are good.
4.5, though.
I'm not surprised that's what it is.
Okay, real quick. Do we think that's because they think Keon won't play?
Back-to-backs.
If this helps, the line opened at 4.5 and it is still at 4.5.
Okay.
So no, Keon does not matter. Also, Keon's on all the prop talks, so I think he's going to play.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Bulls 4.5-point. God, I was worried it was going to be 1.5. They're 4.5-point favorites.
Kyle, can you kill the game music, please?
That's match game theme. Yeah.
I love it.
Good. I'm glad. That's our new Guess the Spread music.
Because I have one thing to say. To Doug, we love him. Dap him up when I see him in the building. Great commercials. Love him. Domantas Sabonis getting talked about in such a disrespectful way.
Mm-hmm.
They're calling you a board man. They're
You can
saying
see
you have no bag. They're saying you're not prepared to do what we know you're prepared to do. Zach LaVine, Dave said you're overpaid. DeMar DeRozan.
Sabonis fell down.
They moved on from you. Malik Monk, they tried to trade you as soon as the confetti fell to the floor. Keon, they don't want to play you. Russ, they tried to leave you on the yacht. Tonight is the night. What are you prepared to do? 4.5 to Matas. 4.5 to Vucevic. 4.5 to Patrick Williams. And to Kevin Huerter. Tonight is the night. We will see Dougie McBuckets. You know why? Because the Kings take care of business.
Blowout City.
And they take care of business in a big way. Just win. But I hope we see Dougie McBuckets. That's all I got, Kyle.
That's
all
all.
right, Whitey.
That was inspirational.
Thank you. You were dropping stuff behind me.
Well, I didn't drop it. It fell.
Look at this.
Yeah.
We need this, Domas. Primal scream.
Right.
Primal yell.
Boy, he's getting knocked around
Yeah, he is.
by the fan base last night.
Yeah, he was. I mean, national. What did you think about the? What did you think about the Doug? We should be 4-0 thing.
Coach speak. It's coach speak.
Yes.
Okay.
Kyle was enraged by it.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I did make the caveat. If we're just going to ignore what he said, that it's just coach speak, that's fine also. But if we're taking what he said at face value, it's one of the most asinine things I've heard.
Well, that I do think it was coach speak. Coaches
It's
say
coach
things
speak.
sometimes that they know might be an exaggeration or not 100% true, and they say them for a reason.
I told Kyle, I've had multiple coaches say something similar to that. I had a coach, because it's funny when they don't really know. Sometimes they'll have it planned and they get caught up. I had a coach, guys, we could be good right now, but we suck. We could be a good baseball team, but we are not a good baseball team right now.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's just sitting there on one knee, just listening. Oh, yes. Dog segment. See, whenever Whitey comes up, he asks me all these questions about my career, so I got to give it up to him.
I didn't
all right.
ask you about your career.
Dog segment. What a show. 4 hours ain't enough. 4 hours is not enough.
Not when you can just banter with Whitey.
That's right. All right, Kyle, I know we got to go quickly here. And I didn't know whether he was going to play or not, but I'm going to stand on business anyway. I don't know why, and I could be way off, but I think it's a Devin Carter type of night. I think, obviously, relatively speaking, I think Devin Carter has a nice game tonight.
God blessing me with his body.
Thank you.
You kind of went the direction I was going to because I'm looking at this list and only 9 players played last night, and I don't know if Keon's going to play. So, you know what, Allen? When you're down and you're doubted, you know who you turn to, your doggiest dog of all the dogs. Russell Westbrook, baby. Russell Westbrook. Dog of the game. Why? Because after this, they're playing Aaron Gordon and Giannis, and he's not going to be starting. So
I'm going Zach LaVine. He's going off tonight.
Okay, he's getting the revenge.
Yes.
I'll get paid more.
Thank you very much, Zach LaVine. Do we think a Kevin Huerter revenge game, or are we done with that? He already had his.
He already did it.
Yeah, he already had his. So take the... Oh, I can't tell you what to do. Shmal and Miles, we know what you're going to do. Thank you to all the callers, sexters, sack chatters. Thank you to Sam Smith of Bulls.com. Thank you to Kyle Ledbetter. As always, Drive Guys coming up next for how long, Whitey?
Hour and a half.
Long enough. Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson. Until tomorrow, secure the bag like the beam. Last season, De'Aaron's playing with the pinky. Then he dropped 60 with the pinky. We don't talk about the pinky. Then when De'Aaron doesn't play good, then we can talk about the pinky. How are we supposed to evaluate De'Aaron with the pinky? Because we only talk about the pinky.
Don't forget my podcast. Gotta go.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.